I've known for a long time that fear was the all-pervading force that kept white supremacy in effective.
Why then did you decide to do it?
Well, the reason I was unarmed was because I had decided that it wasn't valid anymore. So I was going to prove to the people that they didn't have nothing to fear. Well, as it really turned out, except for a few bird shots, I mean, it worked out because the man that shot me wasn't from Mississippi. So that enabled the Mississippi authorities to send him to Parchman Prison, which everybody heard of. He's the first white man to ever go to Parchman Prison for shooting a black. Now, and a number of other things happened from that. The most important thing that happened from that was the sending of armed federal registrars out there by myself. Don't you understand? I knew that, and everybody knew that. I mean, I wasn't just then out there by myself. Don't you understand that war and nonviolence don't go together? I mean,
Did you want the support? Did you want others involved in this march, or was it from the beginning
on my terms? I mean, I personally invited every one of them. You understand? But each one had to be responsible for their own well-being. You see, I started a walk. A walk is an exercise of an individual's rights of citizenship to use the highways and byways. A march is a protest saying to the authorities, treat us better. You understand? I mean, and that's what the whole movement was about. I mean,
so you just wanted to do a walk. It was a walk against fear.
No, I wanted to change the whole thing that America was about. And that's still exactly my goal. You see, full first-class citizenship scared the death out of most people as a goal because they fear the price they might have to pay to get it. And so
after you got shot and you're in the hospital, all of a sudden there are all these people very publicly coming to your bedside. Stokely Carmichael, Martin Luther King.
But they didn't come to do my thing. They came to do their thing, which I endorsed fully.
You endorsed their thing.
Right.
And what was their thing?
A protest, a nonviolent protest.
But I thought that's not what you wanted.
But you see, what most people don't know, and I ain't never made an issue of, James Meredith never participated in the James Meredith March Against Fear for Voter Registration. That was only named in my honor. John Kennedy had no interest in blacks or in equality or fairness. And Bobby Kennedy didn't at first, but he's a person, anybody that can be with I can't ever think his name, this anti-communist, is capable of switching. And that's what Bobby Kennedy did. I said this once, and Caroline Kennedy was in the audience. She got up and walked out, that the real decisions of the Kennedy administration that helped blacks was Bobby Kennedy, not the president. I mean, she had never heard nothing like that before, because I wasn't the only one believed it, but I was the only one that said it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they so this is why it was important. The other thing was John Kennedy, as a ploy, and I knew it was a ploy, had a strong civil rights plank put in because Nixon had been given credit, even though Eisenhower was president, for having the strongest position on the black, what they used to call them back in those days, civil rights plank, than anybody. As a ploy, Kennedy toyed with that. Not only got it in, but it elected him, it nominated him president. Okay. Now, it was a matter of time. And the day Kennedy took the oath of office, that same day, I dropped my letter in the mail to old man. You understand? I mean, and
So the day, so you're saying the day that Kennedy took the oath of office as president,
right,
you sent in your application for admission
to the
University of Mississippi.
Right.
And the timing was, you arranged the timing that way because what?
Because I wanted to put pressure. You see, the civil rights plan was a political position and ploy, and had been even little talked about since the occurrence, to either live up to it or be immediately criticized for not doing what they said they would do.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast. Shouts out to you, Raw. What up, my brother Brandon? Yeah, Raw, you know, I gotta come back one more time to make them mad, you know what I'm saying? I think I pissed everybody but you off, Raw, you know what I'm saying? But you know, that's why I shot you out, because you the realest, you know what I'm saying? The Raws, you know. So I came back to do that because I told y'all I was gonna come back and show y'all y'all idols or whatever. So I just because I said I was gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. And I only really picked like 3 people, you know what I'm saying. And y'all gotta forgive me because like it's a whole lot of stuff up because it's like short stuff, you know what I'm saying. So y'all gotta forgive me, and they change how you show the stuff. So, but I'm gonna try to get through this because I really want to stop having these Jones be so long. And also this other I believe is a white boy. I told him he can come on here and prove me wrong, you know what I'm saying? But usually they don't do that. So, let me put the link in the chat for anybody who want to come up here, or if you come up here and want to defend, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But so I'll give it time for people to come on. Because, ironically, they did not come. And I was talking about the slave ships. But we'll come see if they come to love thy enemy and to save thy enemy, which they probably will. So while I give y'all time, I'm going to just start going through this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I just got to organize, however. So let me do this. All right. So y'all got to forgive me if I get confused with all of this stuff. But yeah, to start it off, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to let Malima go ahead and start us off, you know what I'm saying? And tell us why we defend this so much, Somebody please let me know. So if it comes up, and also if it stalls out, y'all, y'all bear with me. All right, so I mean, I guess it's coming up in a minute. Yeah, y'all gotta forgive me. Keep doing this. And it's usually when you on the live. It usually only happen when you on the live, but you know. All right, so let me do this real quick. All right, now let me try this one more time to share it. Because they don't want Malima to have the first word here, but you know.
A white security guy, when he sees that there's going to be a problem there,
Yeah.
and he's working from behind, he moves to the front. They're going to open.
Yeah.
And then I said to him, no, don't move to the front. Let this one go. You're going to find that guy still explaining where he was born and what. Black people were generally very scared of white people.
Yeah.
I've got a white.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna be explaining yourself, but you know they usually don't do this. But you know, I am glad to see stuff like this here. You know what I'm saying? Because they are upset about this. So let me play this video to show some good things. You know what I'm saying going on.
Our people are getting murdered, tortured. Our old people who can't defend themselves are being burned with cooking oil.
Living in fear, attacked, killed, maimed because of their skin color. This is horrible, horrible. And for some reason, people
By
on
the
the
way, these are the same ones who be like, oh, racism was 300 years ago and racism doesn't exist. But all of a sudden they understand it. It's only us who don't understand it, right? They're not talking about the good black people, the bad white people, none of that stuff. Like he's not saying not all white people are good and not all black people are bad. There's only one group of people that generally do stuff like that.
labeled this a conspiracy theory. The evidence is there. It is not a conspiracy whatsoever. This is real. Why in the world would you refuse to even slightly look at it? Reverse is growing, it's pathetic, and it's very, very dangerous. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, for many people, it's deadly.
When I say
the evidence is there.
You know, they are ready. You know what I'm saying? All the evidence is there.
Right? It is not a conspiracy.
But when you say something, all of a sudden you're a conspiracy theory, right? You know what I'm saying? They understand what it's about. It's only us who don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? So let me let these Europeans speak about the murders in South Africa, you know?
I'd just like to play a short film about the torture statistics in South Africa. There's a journalist called Lauren Sutherland. Some of you may follow her. And she's...
Now, Lauren Sutherland is, a redneck white girl who said, racist stuff all the time. And, when you talk, she's like, oh, critical race theory, how dare you teach that kind of stuff? But now here, right, she's mad because people getting kicked out of places where they have no business at, you know what I'm saying? And this official at this official meeting in Europe is quoting some redneck white girl from the internet, right? Talking about, if you look at what Laurel Sutherland has talked about, and she usually talks about racism against white people and all of that kind of stuff,
Lauren Sutherland, some of you may follow her, and she's made a film with one of the people called the Blood Sisters, who goes in after the farm murders and has to actually clean up the mess. Now, there is a caveat here, I must warn you. There are no scenes depicted in this video that you will see. There's no sort of physical film, but some of the descriptions by the lady that has to go up into the farms after the murders are pretty horrific. The figures that we can get from the South African farmers, there were 463 farm attacks last year. That's 1.3 farm attacks a day, and they're increasing. And due to South Africa's affirmative action programme, that means preferential for black people, black economic empowerment, many whites are refused employment due to the colour of their skin.
Yo, what's going on? What's going on, Cassandra? What you see, right? They understand racism. You don't have to sit there and reflect on it. They're not talking about the black savior, the black white savior. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about none of that, right? Now they all of a sudden they understand the color of your skin, right? Shouldn't determine whatever. You know what I'm saying? Now, while they have that whole system and they got most of the land, right? They were sure comfortable with determining that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But you know, this is them and what's supposed to be a black country, you know?
And due to South Africa's
Exactly.
affirmative action programme, that means preferential for black people, black economic empowerment, many whites are refused employment due to the colour of their skin. This is illegal under the Constitution. 9% of the population is white and they're in the minority. I think that hiring people based on the colour of their skin is absolutely abhorrent, and it's something we should be raising in this parliament.
All right, so she brought an argument from a redneck white girl from the internet, Lauren Sutherland. You know what I'm saying? You can look up all this stuff she does, you know. And now all of a sudden she understands that because she's a quote unquote minority, right? This absolutely abhorrent to do this thing. But, you know, it is what it is. So let me show this last thing before we get into the main thing, and then I'm gonna get out of here if nobody come on here. I doubt they come on here and defend the white people they love on this one, but I'm gonna show you this dude, because this dude here, and I'm only doing this really to troll them because they going after a brother who's a black content creator, and he spoke about this, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just showing you how they will put aside their tribal differences when it comes to, like, they understand how to put whatever they unite under, their whiteness above all everything, you know what I'm saying? And they will respond, you know what I mean? Now, this dude's fan base, you know what I'm saying, was attacking a brother for critiquing this video. So I'm putting it on there. I probably should have put his name in there, but I'm just gonna play just a little bit of what he said, because it's the same thing they say over and over. They're not that creative, you know what I mean?
Insistence on wanting to end all bigotry and promote tolerance for everything, there is a growing anti-white sentiment where white people are regularly demonized, ostracized, and blamed for all the problems in the world. At the same time, Hollywood is doing everything that they can to portray blacks and Latinos as perpetual victims of whiteness, whose lives have been ruined for generations because of white privilege. According to Hollywood, black people never do anything wrong, or if they do, it's the result of the circumstances of their life, which put them in that position because of systemic and institutional racism at the hands of white people. John Langley, the creator of the reality show Cops, admitted he purposefully didn't allow many segments involving police confrontations with black suspects and instead aired more white people being detained and arrested because he didn't want to promote any stereotypes about black people and crime. Never mind the Department of Justice statistics, which show that certain people make up approximately 13% of the population in the United States, but are responsible for close to 50% of the total murders. Just pointing out statistics like that is considered to be racist. Of course.
Yeah, what up, First Rifleman? Yeah, I didn't know him until the dude was playing him, but
Instead of mocking them, the media and celebrities took their delusion seriously. And from that point on, their foot was in the door. And each year after that, there would be more scrutiny over how many. In the film, she plays one of a group of.
Yeah, they cry. But it's just ironic, you know what I'm saying? The very people that say racism does not exist and then turn around and cry about racism, right? And talk about, well, the movies created by white people are saying this and does this, Yeah, I'm sure you would say he's okay. You know what I'm saying? You probably believe that there is a war on white people. Well, I'm here to tell you that, or it's certainly not coming from black people. I can tell you that, you know what I'm saying? We love them too much to even think about that. That's why you on here, like, I guess this is one that you love, and that's just for the title, but you know what I'm saying, right? So I mean, he just went on and on. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't even listened to this whole thing, to be honest with you. But
Django Unchained, I play a slave. How black is that? And in the movie, I have to wear chains.
I forgot Quentin Tarantino, because we damn sure love that dude.
How whack is that? But don't be worried about it, because I get out the chains, I get free, I save my wife, and I kill all the white people in the movie. How great is that?
That film incited tons of angry black people to vent their fantasies about killing white people themselves, flooding Twitter with their hatred. Of course, you can't.
So Django Unchained was the reason why we felt comfortable saying we hate white people, made by a white boy, Quentin Tarantino. But Django Unchained was the reason, right? That's the war on them, right? Not a system or institution or nothing like that, but Django that was made by a white boy. Right, okay.
Can't tell disgruntled people who hate America and American culture, American symbols, our founding fathers to go to another certain continent, because that would be racist. Everything is racist to liberals. Black people's obsession.
Now, calling George Washington and saying like, yo, this rapist, pedophile, killer, Thomas Jefferson, rapist, pedophile killer, saying that they are rapist, pedophile killers, and yeah, they could literally own slaves, and they literally try to argue that Thomas Jefferson was an abolitionist or whatever, you know what I'm saying? While raping children and stuff like this, and to say that is revenge on them, but is they understand how to stand up for their culture or whatever.
With racism of the past can be seen in the obvious double standard of demanding white people not be allowed to say the N-word.
Yo, what's going on, bro?
Greetings, beloved.
All right, what's up?
Chilling. I just have a couple of, things to add to the conversation. I'm not necessarily trying to, go against what you're saying. One thing particular about people like Mark Dice or certain narratives that he puts out there, it's kind of in the same vein of a lot of Black American media, which he's just selling a certain type of victimhood, One thing I will say, there is a lot of anti-white rhetoric in the West now. It's like fashionable to be racist against white people. It's accepted by white people, I guess, because they got white guilt for slavery or whatever, some other bad shit that happened to Black people. But the main thing is, obviously Black people, we love white people because we would never really actually go against them. But right now, a lot of Black people, unfortunately, I would say culturally, we feel that it's a net benefit for us just to put like stupid rhetoric out there, like kill white people. Like, because I can tell you for sure, Black folks were in droves were going, or I would just say Twitter in general is a cesspool for Black folks and just white people in general, just people in general, just to put all their hatred and screeds out for the world to see. And that's just a place where liberal women of all stripes, whether it be white, Black, to spray hatred for like conservative shit or white people or whatever. While if somebody conservative says something, then they can say, oh, it's hatred and, you're anti this or you're anti that and you should be censored. So the main thing, what I'm saying is he's pretty much, if you take out the word white and put in Black, you can find thousands of content creators that are Black that are literally saying like the same shit. So to me, I don't pay attention to too much of this. I pay attention to it as far as like who's consuming it and how people are feeling about it, but as far as like taking that shit in, like it's just victimhood shit. It's just saying somebody's after us and we're the victim and they're the bad guy, we're the good guys. It's the same shit.
All right. What up, Buwana? What up, Bitter Medicine? Now, like because what is racist against them is like a racist policy, for instance. Like, what's racist against them? Like,
okay. There's a couple things at play here. What's happened, and I'll say this wider Western culture, we've done a lot of definition changing with certain words. Initially, racism was one race being or thinking they're superior to another race. That was like the textbook definition of racism. Then, in the last like 10 years, social commentators, a lot of liberals on media, stuff like that, have kind of changed it to mean oppression. So, or systematic quote unquote oppression. So they've changed what racism is. They use it interchangeably with two different things, and that confuses and muddies the water. And then the second thing is, you know, just people using racism as a catch-all for things they don't like. So there's racism, yes, but like I said, people like to overstate it to where it almost doesn't mean anything. And like black people lie about it. Come on, let's keep it on our forecast. At least answer this one question: do some black people not lie about racism, or they put it up there to alleviate themselves of their problems or their wrongdoing?
I would say Jussie Smollett lied about it. All right, that's an acceptable answer for you.
You gave me the forecast answer. I'll take it.
No, cause I'm not sure what you mean. Cause you would be like, yo, well, saying you was in the hood and that's like whatever, cause somebody was hungry. Like, yeah, circumstances play a role in it. You know what I'm saying? I understand like what you're trying to ask, you know, but like, yes, there are instances where like somebody like that has lied about it. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I don't think that like circumstances being involved in somebody's decision, especially when you get hungry or you see your mom struggling, I don't think that you can just discount it as that's nothing. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say that. You know, but anyway, like, and it's not even that. You know what I'm saying? Because even with the dude, he could tell his file, and he has millions of followers, by the way. You know what I'm saying? And he could.
I've been watching him for like 10 years plus.
Yeah, I never really heard of it, but they could tell. But the point is, you know, every nation does that where they be like they want to build their own nation. You know what I'm saying? You could be like, you know, China, but they call it something else with the nationalism part of it. You know what I'm saying? And we understand that globally there is a problem. So yeah, of course, that's why I'm not even mad at him saying what he has to say, because America does the same thing. You know what I'm saying? But they put quote unquote American. Now I get what you're saying about the superior thing. But I'm not sure that, like, I don't see all of these black people thinking they're superior, because like you just said, a lot of black people are scared of them or want to stay under them, as you just said. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that they think they're superior. And also, there is no institutions that is holding them down. And as far as black people, like, I get like you'll be saying, like, why would I say that if I build an institution designed to hold somebody else down? And it's really not. It's really just because we don't have that much institution. We don't have any institutions or resources. So we want to dedicate all the resources that we have to ourselves, you know, and that's not excluding somebody, but they'll be like, well, that's racist. Now they literally did it because they hate your guts. Like, they wouldn't serve you a piece of pie because they hated you so much. You know what I'm saying? I don't see black people practicing that, you know? So, you know, I don't know.
Well, one thing I will say about like a lot of Black American rhetoric or anti-white rhetoric or whatever is that, yes, on one hand, they know who runs the infrastructure, and I'm talking about like power, water, gas, you know, like utilities, very important things to like all people who live in the country. So like black folks know who runs that, and obviously who to thank for maintaining it, because obviously, I hate to say it, there's a small percentage of black men maintaining these very important infrastructures. But then on one hand, black people are very coddled and entitled. Not very, when I say very coddled and entitled, there's a certain class of black people that is entitled and coddled to where they on one hand can demonize white people in like every manner that they seem fit, but then they will never put any work in to make sure they won't need to depend on white people for anything. And that's a lot. And I'm trying to tell you, like, that's a lot of liberal folks that like to complain about racism, that say white people this, white people that, but they literally are usually the people with the closest proximity to white people that talk this shit. And you know who I'm talking? These fucking liberal female college professors with their septum rings, or now these empowered women lawyers. I'm just gonna be honest. Like black women are the vanguard of uh, the I would say the liberal or the uh, the global liberal order, which is how we have everything now. They're the attack dogs of that. So all these institutions, like literally, black people could build our own institutions, but they go be a part of white people's institutions, and then at the same time complain about white people, which is stupid to me. That's my biggest complaint about black folks is that we sit up there and there's a class of white people that are too obsessed about race, but they are always close to each other. They never actually like me. I respect white people and black people that literally saying I don't like. Say if I'm a white dude like that's like 30 years old or something, it's just like I don't like black people. They commit crime. They're low IQ. They're this or that. I would respect that dude more if he went to where white people are and he made a white family, just let people alone and just lived his own life, and that's it. And he didn't go out there to try to like fuck with other people. Same thing with black folks. If they're like, oh, white people this, white people that, America sucks, or this, that, and they go to Africa and they start a life there, they build a family, they build a legacy. That's
But bro,
what I respect.
but,
I don't hold on.
but
Let me finish and I'll let you go. But I do not respect people who run around all day sowing discord and bad will between everybody that has nothing to do with your feelings and your what's going on with you. And I'm talking about white and black people going out on these racist rants and all this shit when they will never do the work necessary to make themselves and their race better. That's the main thing I see for most people that put quote unquote race first. They are usually the biggest hypocrites.
okay. All right. So, and I'm gonna say this because we got to go to the main thing because I ain't trying to be on here super long today. But let me say this. You know what I'm saying? Like when you say, yo, I wouldn't mind if this white dude be over here and he goes start his family and this black family go over here. Yo, that's what people was doing. But do you know where the white dude is building his stuff on top of? Like the land he slaughtered people to take. Like it's not like people sought him out. He came to your stuff and took your stuff. And when people mention that, all of a sudden you're talking
Well,
about
be more specific when you say like who are you talking about? Like I don't know. I'm kind of
everybody.
lost.
I mean everybody. Like yo,
Everybody,
how do you,
the white man doesn't own Asia. He doesn't own Africa.
no, I'm
He
talking
has a lot
okay.
of interest. They have a lot of interest, but you're kind of to me, you're
So
talking about Native
European.
Americans. You're
So
talking about
yeah.
Native Americans, right?
Yeah, but didn't Europeans colonize like China or something like that?
Yeah, and they promptly got the fuck out because they
Because the
did
Asians,
business.
right? Because the Asians didn't respond. But yo, when you saying they go build their land, they build their houses on top of, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not, like you brought up the Native Americans, but I know you got to defend them and say like, oh, not everybody, even though they literally went around the world doing this kind of stuff and they're competing with them. You know what I'm saying? It's just Asians.
They do what humans
right back.
do, just on a larger scale. Like
Mhm.
example of Native Americans. Before the Europeans went there, Native Americans had no problems going slaughtering and killing other competing tribes and other different people that were Native American, but they were different tribes. They had no problems massacring them and conquering them and doing all this horrible shit. And then when the Europeans come over and do the same shit, I should be more mad at the Europeans than like the Indians, even though they literally, if you give humans the chance, and like power is a corrupting thing, no matter if you're white or black. It's just white people got better at it, and it is what it is. I'm not defending it. I'm just telling you what it is. And so I just don't understand how people like, oh, Europeans killed and slaughtered all these people, which is true, but Native Americans did literally the same thing before they showed up. And I'm supposed to be more mad at them? Like I just don't
They was
understand.
not, number one, they was not just like going around slaughtering and murdering and taking people in the land and all of that stuff. They was not like, yo, was there wars, but they was not like just like even in their wars,
Yes.
even in
If you look, okay.
even in their wars, if you look up, like, give me the numbers of like a war and like,
Well, there's no numbers, obviously, because
right. I know it's
the
no
records aren't there.
numbers
Hold
of
on,
it,
hold on. But one thing I will say,
but there are records of numbers of Europeans,
oh
like
yeah,
even
I
during
get
that
that.
time
I
with
get that,
numbers.
but numbers for like that not gonna mean anything.
They
What I'm
don't even
talking
have the
about.
same weaponry to be able to take out
Okay,
as many people as you're
no,
talking about. That's
I
not even logical.
no. I get what you're saying. What I'm saying is that Native Americans have different tribes, even to this day, that know the history between those two tribes. I'll give you an example: Cherokees and Creek Indians. The Cherokees teamed up with the white man and massacred the Creek Indians. You know what I'm saying? So, and even before the white man showed up, they were looking for excuses to take out those people and steal their land and steal their resources. So, like I said, what they were doing, the white man did on a bigger scale. So it's hard for me to say Native Americans have some moral high ground when they literally were doing the same thing the white man was doing. And by the way, Native Americans like to keep their slaves too longer than the white man did, if you want to be real. So
right. Yeah.
But I'm supposed to give Native Americans the moral high ground? Like, come on.
First of all, nobody said anything about morality or any of that. You know what I'm saying? And number two, what you're saying is not even like accurate. Like you just said, bro. Like they was not doing this on the same scale. Like afterwards, once they was not practicing the same kind of slavery. Like even Europeans was not practicing that kind of slavery. You do know that, right? Like it was developed over here. They didn't come over here even doing
no, hold on. They learned a lot of that from the Arabs. Like, let's keep it 100. Like before, like the white man got lessons from other people when it came to slavery, and he refined it in his own way. So
yeah,
I'm
not saying, but that's the thing. Who's saying like Arabs? Like I get in trouble for saying other people. I put them in the same thing too, but. Like, let's be real. Like these other groups was not doing the same thing, bro. Like it was not what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not even the same kind of process.
It's just a difference of scale, but it's literally the same. They were doing the same thing. Yeah, it is true. Well, okay, just literally one of the glaring differences is because the Native Americans didn't go over an ocean to, subjugate and be mean to other people, but they did the same thing just on a smaller scale. So to me, I mean, yes, of course you can say the white man was worse or did worse things. You can say that, but it's just, to me, I can't get more anger towards them than the Indians. Is about the same. Like my distaste for that behavior is the same. That's what I'm saying. I'm not defending white people, but it just intrigues me.
You kind of deflected because I never said nothing about because I never said Indians was moral or good or.
Well, that's true. You did, but just to me, and I'll just say how you're presenting it, how I'm taking it is that you're trying to present that. You see what the white man did?
Yeah, they was on their they was in their own property, minding their business when somebody else showed up, right, and saved everybody in the land. You know what I'm saying?
That's the story of humanity, bro.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, what's going on? Man, oh man. I mean, I guess, how do you feel about the Africans having indulged in slave trading?
It's horrible. I don't give them and Africans today, and some sycophants towards Africans and stuff will be like, well, they just tried to get rid of the criminals or the other tribes. They didn't really know or whatever. And it's like, no, they knew, especially after a while. If it's like the first couple years or something, you could be naive. But after like a couple 100 years, like, come on now, y'all knew what the fuck was going on. So yeah. Africans ain't, but if they atone for it, and some of them are welcoming us back and all that stuff and apologizing. So I think that's good. That's good for healing. That's a good direction. But it is what it is.
Which slavery was worse, the African or the European?
They're both bad. Like, oh, okay. Well, obviously it's worse because, like I said, the European had a larger scale and more outreach with their impunity, their power, you know what I'm saying, their power projection. So you can, if somebody put a gun to my head, like, who had to work the most slavery around, of different continents on the world, like, okay, white people, yeah, of course. But it's just like I said, I don't reserve extra ampage of anger for them when other people were engaging in the same shit. It was just a smaller scale. So it's just people like to go in on white people all day, but literally everybody else is doing the same shit.
Right. So basically what you're saying is, man, I can't put that white man down for nothing. That's what you're saying, right?
Well, no, I would say this. You know what I'm saying? And I don't see them having these kind of conversations where they defending. You know what I'm saying? People literally going around colonizing people. You know what I'm saying? And that's the issue. That's why it's called. Look, I actually didn't expect nobody to come on and defend the first part of this. You know what I'm saying? We were defending against the war on white people. I guess you know. I was just showing that part till people came on, but.
All right, man, I missed that part.
Well, no, yeah, I was just playing until people came, but
No, I'm not. I wasn't defending white people. I was just adding a context to certain things because I'm sorry. I see, like, I just see, like, when I see the racism narrative, that's been used so much to dupe our people. And I'm not saying you forecast you're trying to do anything like that. That's not at all. Like, you're genuine and you're trying to present information. So that's why I rock with you. But other black folks are intellectually dishonest. They have a bone to pick and they just present shit information out there. And all it does, and most black folks that I see that take in a lot of this information, instead of taking it and doing tangible shit or productive shit, they just go on Twitter or they'll punch a white people at 7-Eleven or they'll do some stupid shit like that that does not benefit black people. That's why when people talk about racial shit, that's why I scrutinize it, because they use that shit to fucking keep us brain dead or control us, other black people. So that's all.
I partially agree with that part. Let me ask you this, Rifleman. How did you feel when the Queen of England died?
Bye, bitch. This is fucking, I'm an American. Like, fucking our predecessors fought these people, so I don't really like. We can be friendly with them.
You are of Jamaican heritage, so that is your queen, or that was your queen.
No, that was never my queen. I'm an American.
No, he cried when Ronald Reagan died. All right, so.
Fuck out of here.
He was on suicide watch when that queen died. Huh?
No, we gonna talk.
Really, I think the only old white person that I would get sad if they died was like Ron Paul.
Ron Paul.
Yeah, I'd probably cry. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'll go to Ron Paul's funeral. I'll go right to Texas because he's done a lot for me intellectually. But the rest of these old ass white people, they can rock.
Well, we about to get to some of y'all who y'all love, but Cassandra, your thing wasn't connecting. You can come back, especially your boy Alquan. We're gonna discuss him.
Did you check out my community tab channel?
Oh man. I think the problem that you have, because I was about to say something on there. I think the problem that you have is when you look at history, you're not coming from a black perspective. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'll say for now. You know.
Well,
what do you think? You're from like Mexico or where? From Ancient Aliens. I don't know where the fuck you think you're from, Alquan.
What you mean? What do you? No, I'm just saying. I was just saying that JFK, that was a president who cared about the black people, and nobody forced him to it. Until he did it on his own because it was the right thing to do. And that what I showed on that community tab, he was talking about he's a president who goes by the Constitution, not any Freemasonry, not any other special interest groups, the Constitution. And that's what that's what he did.
You missed the beginning because I debunked that with the intro video, but
yeah, I definitely missed the beginning.
I will say JFK was probably a better president than most, but he was still a corrupt fucker, And it also
what was he corrupt about?
Well, okay, when I say corrupt, like little stuff, like there never should be a situation where you're the president and your brother's the freaking attorney general. That should never happen in America.
Well, Alan Dulles and his brother.
Yeah. I don't like him. Dulles, he's the worst. He's the worst.
George Bush and his son.
Yeah, hey, dude, you're not arguing.
Aren't you naming corrupt people though?
Yeah, they're horrible. I hate those people. Dulles and the Bushes, like they can. I don't fuck with them. I don't rock with them. They're the worst. They've hurt so many black people around the globe. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one thing I can't get about. Like, Obama bombed a lot of black people, but no, them white boys, So you
comparing the Bushes to the Kennedys, pretty much.
Well, I would just.
Harko, but go ahead.
Well,
go ahead, Harko.
No, I was just giving other examples of relatives who were in high power positions in the U.S.
Well, like I said, it just shouldn't be like that's the part of like when I said corruption, I kind of thought about that, and then like them banging the same woman, like small stuff like that. But like I
Well,
said,
well, well,
they
well,
did a lot of
pause.
stuff right. They
Now,
did a lot of stuff right.
I'll give this about the Kennedys. All three of those brothers, they were some out of control sex fiends. That there ain't no question about that. And they cheated on their wives, and they should have been able to control themselves. But even with that, they didn't do anything against the U.S. though, the government, as far as their office was concerned.
You're 100% correct. I
So,
like 2 or 3 things that he did that literally probably got him killed. And so like I'll always, but his record on race, I'm not convinced that motherfucker liked us.
well, I'm convinced that he at least thought that we deserve, and he said it many times, that we deserve to be
I mean, so
equal.
did Bill Clinton. Like, so you used to be like, you would have been like, Bill Clinton should have been the
Yeah,
first
but Bill
black
Clinton,
president.
Bill Clinton didn't do nothing though to help us out though.
Huh?
Bill Clinton. didn't
Bill
do anything
Clinton
to help us
locked
out.
our asses up. Bill Clinton locked our asses up in jail and sent all our jobs overseas. That's what Bill Clinton did.
It would have been like, he would have been like in the 1800s. Oh, Abraham Lincoln is a good dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you. It's the same difference, bro.
John Kennedy, he tried to help the black man. I think a lot of black people need to research him. And what
I think he tried to
you
help
need to do
himself
that.
in the Democrat Party.
He wanted to get elected. Well, all right, stop because we're gonna get into that before. All right, cool. But before that, what up, Bakari? I hope Casidra come back. So y'all might agree with me on this first person because this one was the easiest one, and JFK was pretty easy. The hardest one, I'm not gonna lie, was y'all favorite Queen Princess Diana. You know what I'm saying? So
why do people care about that white woman so much?
I have no.
I still don't understand.
I have no clue. But that's why I wanted to do this. The black people, the white people that black people love. How you feel about Karl Marx?
He's a communist. He should die.
Well, he's already dead. So
Right.
Sorry, I just don't like communism. But go ahead.
Oh, out of curiosity, why don't you like communism?
It kind of has a large body count.
So does capitalism. Probably an even greater body count.
Yeah, but I got food. I got cheap food, electricity, video games. I can get education. Communism doesn't really like. Not saying capitalism is like perfect, but it's the most preferred system so far. I'm just gonna say that
for the greedy, right? Greedy and selfish.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, every system with the people at the top, it's always usually set up to benefit them anyway. So,
same thing with communism.
Yeah, but the people at the bottom starve, literally.
People at the bottom in capitalism starve.
Not really. Okay, do you see all the fat homeless people on the fucking street?
Keyword is homeless.
So it seems like any kind of system where Europeans seem to be in control, right? Like it looks like us at the bottom. Or am I
Stop.
Oh, no, I better not say nothing like that, right?
Forecast, dude. It's hierarchy, bro. It's more hierarchy than just like white people have this. Dude, back in like Shaka Zulu, do you think he had the people at the low totem pole in society chilling in his little compound? Or did he have them where they should be? At the bottom.
Shaka Zulu is like the only African who was talking about, you know what I'm saying, like war on some like really strategic stuff.
Oh yeah. I'm just using him as an example. Shaka Zulu is a great guy.
But I don't. I think he was a great leader. I don't agree with everything that he did, though. You know what I'm saying? But that's another conversation. You know?
Yeah, true.
But all right, so let me just play this. Karl Marx was a racist. So why do many black people love him so much?
It is now completely clear to me that he, as is proved by his cranial formation and his hair, descends from the Negroes who had joined Moses' exodus from Egypt. He hated the Jews as well, even though he was a Jew, assuming that his mother or grandmother on the paternal side had not interbred with an N-word. Now this union of Judaism and Germanism with a basic Negro substance must produce a peculiar product. His co-author, Engels, who wrote the Communist Manifesto with him, he said of somebody, he was arguing with somebody, and he said, being in his quality as an N-word, a degree nearer to the rest of the animal kingdom. So anything they find, if they find one of the
I see. I was telling you, Alquan, you know, he was saying he hated the Jews, you know what I'm saying, and because they was mixed with, you know what I'm saying, black people. And that's what I'm saying. Any system that is not your own, I don't care what system it is, you know, if you ain't building it from your own people, you know what I'm saying, for your own people, then you're going to be at the bottom of every other thing. Because, like, I know we have so many people that defend everything from other groups of people, you know what I'm saying, as we see here. But, you know, other groups is not thinking that way. They're trying to be on top, you know what I'm saying? They don't think in the terms of friendship, you know what I'm saying? Now, we can have the conversation about Marxism and socialism and capitalism, you know what I'm saying, the systems. But the Karl Marx dude, like, because even if you say socialism, you go back to something before Karl Marx. And neither one of y'all would say I'm a Marxist. I don't think y'all would, you know. But there's a lot of black people that love this dude. And I don't understand why they would say that, you know what I'm saying?
Because they're communists and that Black Lives
Because
Matter. That's communism.
Because some black people want free shit.
Well, that means a lot of white Marxists. You know that, right?
Well, okay. Let me say this better. There's a certain personality complex that people have that are very much think free is really free. But when we all regular logical people know free actually isn't free. You know what I'm saying?
So
So
people shouldn't be entitled to free stuff. If not, how should
no,
they get things?
no, I didn't say okay. When you say free stuff, you know, but what I'm saying is everything that's produced, there's a cost. People produce it, material costs, you know, whatever. And a lot of these people that think socialism or social societies is a better avenue or that's just like the best way at all the time is destructive. You know, just like saying everything being privatized is the best thing. That's stupid too.
Right.
Is there a cost to growing apples?
Yes.
What's that cost?
Well, it depends on what part of scale, what part of the scale.
Without automation.
Without automation, yeah, there's a lot of labor costs. There's a lot of you know, you have to do maintenance on the trees, water rights, mineral right, you know, so there's a lot of stuff that goes into it.
So you're trying to make it complicated. But my point is,
no, that's not, I mean, an apple farm isn't a fucking not growing a fucking, you know, potatoes out of the ground.
Well, I didn't necessarily say a farm, but you know, an apple, you know, enough apples to feed a neighborhood.
Oh, sorry. The reason why I went down that tangent is because I have experience working on apple farms and stuff like that, and I'm actually bringing that to Africa.
Well, that's good. I mean, you know. But yo, Cassidra is on the panel. What's going on, Cassidra?
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Hi.
Good.
I have a question.
Greetings, beloved.
Yes, America, and I have a question for you. You just talked about free. Who does not like free? Everybody has gotten free. The Jews have gotten free. Indians gotten free. So when black people, their turn to get free, you have an issue with it. Explain that to
well,
me.
when you say free, I don't really understand.
You said free. I'm going by what you just said. You just said black people.
Well,
want
free
right?
what? Like free
you
what?
tell me. You just said it. I want to know what you mean by free stuff. What do you mean? Everybody gets free
You know,
stuff.
like free health care.
Okay,
free
who
education.
don't get free health care? Does
Okay.
white people not get free?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Does white people not get free anything?
I mean, there is Medicaid.
Okay, is it
Medicare.
free? Is it free?
No, it's not free because taxpayers pay for it. So it's not free.
Wait a minute. So, but black people, okay, taxpayers don't pay for black folks Medicare or Medicaid, right? Is that what you're saying?
I never said anything like that.
I'm trying to understand what you mean by free. You said black people.
Okay, when I say free, okay, they're socialism and communism. Okay, let's say socialism. They believe that collectivism will produce good products. I do not believe that. So when
okay, but hold on.
So,
okay, go back to your remark when you said free. You said black people like free shit. That's what you said, right?
But and then I was corrected by, I think it was a forecast. I was like, yeah, I need to say that better. There's a certain personality of person that prefers free stuff or thinks collectivism and getting free stuff is a preferable society. And I
But isn't
disagree
that
with that.
everybody who thinks that? Because I didn't hear any Jews turning down when they gave them free money. I didn't hear Jews saying, "Oh, we don't want that." I didn't hear Asians just got a ball of money, right? I didn't hear them saying, "Oh, we don't want that free." I'm just saying,
Well,
you talking out of the side of your neck here. I think what you need to do is leave that white boy alone and just sit down for a minute, give him a break, and get out of his booty hole. Okay, I want to say something else, but I ain't gonna say it because he has gotten you all off with your mentality.
I don't even
And
know
I
what
think
you're
you've been
talking
listening to
about.
him a little bit too long. Seriously.
Ma'am, I don't even know what you're talking about. We can have a conversation about what we mean about free stuff. What I'm saying is there are competing economic systems, and one is more successful for a reason. The other one is less successful because people are not incentivized to produce in the right way. They think because they get free health care, that means the quality of care is supposed to be good or whatever, or they're entitled to a good quality of care. And that's not reality.
Here we go again. Everybody
takes
gets free
expertise.
health care.
It takes
Everybody.
money. Well, I'm just saying that's just a good example because healthcare is very complex, very expensive, and obviously there's corruption baked in our system as well, which we could talk about. But if you want world-class medical care, okay, and you thinking socialism is the answer, you're gonna get the NHS. Okay,
Well,
that's
look,
what
this,
you're gonna get.
well, look, this is the thing, right? Because the problem is, right? I think because you're using they're like, and we're coming from a place like when most people say that, you know what I'm saying? I will say this about it because I don't agree with. I agree that there should be aspects of socialism because education is a free thing that you would probably agree that we should have free education. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, it is not free. But as a collective, you put your money, your resources together to build the institutions that you want as a community. And that is a part of socialism, you know what I'm saying? But I do agree that, a part of like when you say you're against capitalism, right? Like if I make something, right, then you telling me that either the government should own it or all of us should own it. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree with that either. But you're going to need a combination of the two things. And I think that, Black people being scared of capitalism and Marxism and socialism, you know what I'm saying? Now, Karl Marx, they want to, because socialism is beyond Karl Marx, you know what I'm saying? He takes it from something beyond himself. Europeans just give themselves credit all the time for everything, you know what I'm saying? There were socialist societies, but I do think, one flaw was like, you want to be able to build programs and all of this stuff. And I do think there's some flaws in both of it, but you put it together to build what's best for you, you know what I'm saying? In my opinion.
But do we understand everything that was built for us was for our demise? I'm looking at the comments and when he talked about the free, we didn't talk about when the white folk got free reparations when they released their slaves. We didn't talk about the free land that they got when they got over here. So when we talk
Most
about
white
free,
people didn't get reparations for slaves.
The ones that owned them did. The ones that owned slaves got free.
The English got compensated by the government, but largely a lot of Americans did not.
Just like I said, when white folk had slaves and they were released, they got free. Okay, they got free reparations. Just like
you're gonna have to be more specific because
just like the free land that they got
DC.
when they came to America, they got free land, right? But nobody says anything when they get free. But when Black folk, when it's time for Black people to get free, to get paid for a debt that's owed, everybody is up in arms about it. But you're not up in arms when the Indians get it, when the Jews get it, when the Pacific Islanders get it. But when Black people get it, everybody is up in arms about that. That's what my thing is.
And you have a couple of points that I agree with. Obviously, a lot of people, when they think something is owed to them and somebody's offering reparations for something, then yes, they feel entitled to take it. So I understand that aspect.
But guess what? We're
hold on, let me finish, sister. Let me finish this. I'm not against Black Americans getting reparations I just believe getting just a cash transfer may not be the best thing.
I
What you
agree
when you said about white people getting free land, that was the Homestead Act in like 1860 something.
But did they get free? Did they get free land? Did they get free reparations? They got programs. They were able to
hold
use
on?
programs also that was put
Can I
up.
finish this,
that was given
please?
to them.
I understand. Can I finish my thought and you can go ahead? Okay, so white people got the Homestead Act. They got programs like you just mentioned. They got programs like the New Deal. They got things like that that largely in the GI Bill. I completely understand that Black people were largely pushed out of that, or they weren't even allowed to participate.
Exactly.
One thing that Black people in America can push for in a united fashion is to right those wrongs and to get the land that we are owed. That 40 acres and a mule out west, and I'm just saying out west, there could be legal cases and there could be other things because there's like a lot of land out east that was stolen from Black people that can be done in the courts, but largely 85%, maybe 75% of all land out west is owned by the federal government. And I'm talking about agricultural land. I'm not talking about just piece of shit hills and whatever. But hold on, there's actual agricultural land. So we can push for descendants of actual slaves, not new Africans that done came over 20 years ago and all these other these other half breeds or have tenuous connections to our lineage trying to get in on it. We get that land out west and we can start building legacies. I'm all for
most
that.
of that land is uninhabitable.
No, that's not true, Hardcore. That is not
Yes, it
true.
is. That's why
it's
it
not.
is inhabitable.
No, it's not, Hardcore. And then also on top of that, I'm wary against cash transfers because it's going to go right back to the white man.
Well, hold on. That's not for you to say, though. I understand what you're saying. You talking white talking points. Those are white supremacy talking points. Nobody comes on and tells the Jews what to do with their money. Nobody told the Indians, we're going to give you this, but we're not going to give you this. No, you give me the same thing you gave the Indians, give me the same thing you gave the Jews. I don't just want land. I want money. It could be in silver, okay? But don't tell us what we can and cannot do because everybody is not thinking about purchasing anything in America. Because guess what? For myself, I won't be spending not a dime in America. I would not buy a piece of land in America because I have no dreams or wishes I don't want to buy anything here in America. But when
this is your land, this is your country.
It's not just about land. It's about education. It's about the housing. It's about the whole system that they.
Okay, those aspects we're gonna have to do that ourselves. We cannot depend on the federal government to do anything like that.
You're right.
For us.
You're right. We can't.
So that's what I'm saying. Okay,
we
but
want the system fixed.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, okay, I would be more for having cash transfers to Black people in America if we had a real estate infrastructure, if we had an education infrastructure.
Money allows you to get that.
This is what bothers me with Black people who come up here and sit up here and talk to white folk all day. Then you want to come over and tell Black folk what they can and cannot do.
What the hell are you talking about, woman?
Listen to me. Listen.
This man is of Jamaican heritage. That's why he's talking
trying
like
to talk about what we gonna do with our money. It's not your business. It's not anybody's business because when you give it to the Jews, you give them a check. You give them a check and they do what they want to do with it, right?
So we're gonna make Nike a $1 trillion company. So we're gonna make Nike a $2 trillion company because we need Jordans, right? Of course. See, that's what I'm saying. We don't deserve to get that reparations money because we're gonna waste
something, bro. I wouldn't. You know what? Let me just educate you on most Black folk. We're not thinking about purchasing anything in America. Most Black folk will take their monies and purchase in other countries because of the simple fact we don't want to sew back into America. So for you to sit up there and say, oh, Black folk ain't gonna do nothing but this, that, and the other. That's not your call. That's not your concern. Your concern is just you do what you want with yours, but don't sit up here and say, oh, Black folk don't need this because this and this and this.
Okay.
No, we need it more than anybody. And the ones that need it the most are the ones that sitting up here talking about what we don't need. But no other culture does this but Black people. And you know why they do it? Because they are so up, they don't want to hurt white folk feeling. We don't want to make them feel bad. No, who gives a damn? It's time for us to make them feel bad. It's time for us to do for us. It's time for
Okay,
us to build
okay,
our own.
making people feel bad and black people benefiting are two different things. Okay, like smacking a white person in the face and making them feel bad
That's
and all
not
that
what I
shit
said.
does
That's not what
not
I said. What I'm
do
saying is when
anything
you
for
are
black people.
creating
That's
your
just
own
ignorant,
companies,
low IQ thinking.
to
Okay,
make them feel
the
bad
thing.
is
All
for
right,
you
yo, hold
to
on.
have
All
your
right.
own companies. To make them feel bad is for you to build your own communities. To make them feel bad is to
Right.
take your $1.2 trillion out of their hands and put it into your
Well,
own.
say that. Say build. Don't say make them feel bad.
I can
Because
say it
success
anytime
is
I
the
want to. You
greatest
didn't understand
success.
what I meant.
Okay, success.
Yeah. Hold on. All right. Because we gotta go on. But
Okay,
like,
can I
yeah,
have
you notice
forecast? Can I say just one last thing and I'm
Yeah,
done?
I'm gonna let you say it, but let me say this so you can like respond while you're saying it. You know what I'm saying? Like you notice, like before, like when I was saying like you brought up like, oh well, the native black people sold other black people, and then like now you're saying like, you know, low IQ and all of this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't notice that you're like kind of doing that when it comes to like, you know, like you went automatically when she said because she was literally saying I want to get land and do this, like not in America, but the first thing you went to,
the fact he let them white folk too much. That's what's going on with it.
This is
yeah,
our country.
So
What
when
are
a
you
black
talking
woman
about?
but no,
comes
but
to
hold
the
on,
white,
hold
you
on,
go
because
automatically into the white this and the white that. We already
right.
know that you love white folk. That's why you can sit up there and listen to the little racist over there for 10 years, and he's got your mind jacked up. Let me bring it back to the black culture here. Because I know you heard what I was saying, but you didn't want to hear it because a black woman is saying it. But it doesn't matter because I already know what you all about. You sitting up there listening to a white man tell you his side, and you just all into it. Get out of his butthole, please. I can't just get out.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna let you go, and no, y'all don't cut him off. All right, and I'm just saying, you know, like you just went to violence when she wasn't really talking about violence. I didn't think she was talking about violence. You know what I'm saying? But that's all
I went to violence. What did I say? Violent.
No, you was like, yo,
Because
smacking
you think that about
somebody.
black people.
You was like, when she said what she said, you was like, well, smacking people isn't going to change anything. That's low
Well,
IQ.
I mean,
thinking.
okay, I misspoke. Okay, I misspoke.
But yeah, go ahead. Don't
Okay.
don't cut him off, and then we're gonna move on. Oh, well, I'm gonna let
Okay.
Hardcore if you want to speak, and then we're gonna move on.
Okay, all right. A couple of things. Look, all you should have said about making people feel bad, I'll just speak to that really quickly, is success. Just say us succeeding in whatever, that will make people feel bad. But just going with the premise like, oh, we got to make them feel bad. It's like, no, we got to make sure we feel good about ourselves and our children. Stop cutting me off.
That's your thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, all right, come on, yeah. Go ahead,
Thank
go
you.
ahead, man. Go ahead.
So that's what I'm saying. We need to worry more about ourselves instead of about what everybody thinks about us and shit. So people saying you think about or you worry about what white people think anyway, even though you don't know it. And then also on top of that, me myself, and I hate to disclose this shit, but it like black folks talking shit about land talking shit about land out west, and we don't need all they like literally. White people were able to build legacies and wealth off of that land transfer in the 1800s. Okay, you got white families today that literally have mismanaged their shit for like ever, but they still got 50 acres of land, 100 acres of land that will pass down that they can make profitable if they just get their shit together. So what I'm saying is like me myself, I was able to buy 55 acres of aggregable land for less than $200,000 in Oregon. It is possible. You just have to look at the zoning, the county. You have to actually look at the soil and what you have to do research. You have to do market research to actually see what's viable. Don't let these black people out here tell you there's not good land out here or the white people got it all and all that. People buy and sell land out here every day in America, okay? There's all the resources that our freaking ancestors bled, fought for, so we have the opportunity to have land out here to build something. And y'all just want to just give it away. Just like, oh, just give us like $5 and just leave. You know what I'm saying? And so people that are talking about black Americans are this, or we're strong, we're resilient, we're the best, but you want to abandon everything and just leave. And I'm not talking about you can't build in Africa. Yes, go to Africa, build there, make connections. But this is our freaking country too. We've been here for hundreds of years. Okay. So what I'm saying is we can push politically for getting land because we can do something like that. But getting just a cash transfer, we're going to make Nike rich. We're going to make the state of Israel rich. We're going to make white people even richer. And it's not going to go to black people. Okay. The average dollar in Black America stays in for like 1 day, 2 days.
How
In the
about
Jewish
you do what
community,
you
it's
want
like
to do
18 days.
with your money, and then we do what we want
All
to
right.
do. Even though you're
Hold
not
on.
entitled to reparations because you're Jamaican, though.
Nah, I knew it. But I knew you was gonna throw this. This is why I want. All right, go ahead and wrap it up kind of quick, and then when we go like hardcore, and then consider it. I'm gonna let you, and then we gonna move on. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead,
I'm
wrap
done.
it up.
I'm pretty much done. You know, if you wanna flee to Africa and you think that's a thing, go ahead. Okay. The main thing is this is still America. Black people have been here since the beginning. Okay. And we have a claim to land out here, and we have the power to do it. We can band together and get hundreds of thousands, a million acres of land, damn near the size of a state out west politically. But we don't push for it. We push to get Nikes and have a house next to white man. That's what we're pushing for when you push for cash transfers. But land, that's going to take work, expertise, love, family, community, all that community stuff. That's why people don't want land, because that's going to make us work.
So pretty much you're saying black people are now racist towards white people, like you were saying at the beginning. All right, go ahead, hardcore.
Yeah, let me just expound on this reparations talk. I think, again, I don't know about anybody else, but I don't want anybody else trying to tell me what I shouldn't get and what I do need instead of what I really need. I mean, especially people who aren't entitled to get any damn thing because they're not Black American heritage. Those people need to stay out of the discussion altogether. They shouldn't have a word in any kind of way, because none of this has to do with them. But when it comes to money, just give me the money. How do you know I want land? I can go buy land with the money. And why would I want land designated out west? West to me is anything west of the Mississippi. And if you did your research, you would find out that a lot of that land is uninhabitable. That's why it's sparsely populated until you get to the West Coast. But, you know, we gotta, I think if people who claim to be for Black people really love Black people, but they're not Black Americans, when it comes to that reparations talk, either you support it or you should just be quiet. That's just the way I feel. Because if you're talking against it or saying, hey, it's going to go to Nike, people are going to buy Nikes anyway, whether they got reparations or they don't. People are going to buy Cadillac. People are going to buy Benz.
Just as long as it doesn't go to Black people, I get it.
If they give us $1 million,
exactly. That's what you think.
If they give us $1 million,
when you give it to Cadillac and freaking Nike, that's where it's gonna go, not to Black people.
Do you tell white folk what to do with their money? Did you tell them? Did you tell the Jews what to do with theirs? Did you tell?
I tell them to buy black. I tell them to buy black.
Well, you can't. It's easier to buy black when you get some reparations.
Black dude, you need to sit down somewhere.
But I'll tell you this, man. You just, no matter where the money goes, people are gonna buy a car, no matter what. If they gave us $1 million a piece, there's going to be some idiot who's going to spend $750,000 either on a house or on a Bentley or something, just because. And you know what I say to that? That's them. I'm not doing it, and I really don't believe most Black people are going to do it. So I think it's just best to stay neutral, stay out of the situation if you're not going to help support the situation. I'm done.
All right. So yeah. Go ahead, Cassandra.
I'm sorry.
No. Yeah, don't cut Cassandra. I was just gonna say, don't cut Cassandra off. Let her go in. All right, go ahead.
You guys act like white folk don't buy cars. You guys act like white folk don't go buy houses. You think they did buy cars and houses with their money? See, you got a bunch of white supremacy talking points and white supremacy mindsets on this live. And I mean, if you spending 10 years looking at a white supremacy dude, you ain't gonna do nothing but get his thinking points. You understand what I'm saying? So all I'm hearing is what he don't want for black folk, but I ain't heard nothing about what he don't want for white folk, what he don't want them to have. All I hear is don't give black folk this, don't give black folk that, don't give black folk nothing according to what you have to say. Exactly. And see, he's so stuck in that white man's behind that he can't think black. He talking about buying some damn land in Oregon. I wouldn't touch Oregon. I don't have a desire to go to Oregon. Give me my reparations, like I said, and I'll go and build. I'm building already. Build our own banks, build our own warehouses, build our own everything. We don't have to be, we need our own schools right now. We need our own community stores. But you talking about, oh, don't give black folk this because they're going to do this with it. You speak for yourself. Now, if you want to go and stay under, in Oregon with white supremacy, you just go right ahead. But I don't desire to go to Oregon. I don't desire to go to Iowa or all these white states. You understand what I'm saying? When I do get mine, if we do, whatever, reparations should be spent the way we see fit. We don't have to spend it the way white folk tell us to. And black folk who don't have it want to sit up here and tell you what to do with yours. Let's fix the system, not just give us money, but fix the system. Because if you don't fix the system, you still haven't won anything. You got to fix the housing system. You got to fix the laws. You got to fix a lot of stuff. Schools. You got to fix this. Everything that they put in our community has been for our demise. The shots. We gave our babies vaccines, right? I'm not trying to say that, but I'm just saying what happened to our babies. They ended up getting autism. Okay. So let's really be real and really face the issue on what's going on this live here. You got exactly, this dude will die for a country that hates you, and they show you every day that they hate you. You can laugh all you want to, but guess what? The same brothers, the same white folk that you say got your back. You know, we had a guy that did the same thing, and guess who killed him? He said he didn't have any problems with police. He was black. They ended up killing him. Go ahead and be the only token. Go ahead and keep on thinking those are your friends, because guess what? You're going to find out sooner than later who your real friends are. I rest my mic.
Yeah, facts. Shanique. Yeah, Shanique want to come on, so you can come on, Shanique. But yeah, I agree with her, yo. You know, yeah, I do.
Me too. And I wouldn't be caught dead in that hat.
Exactly.
That's because you a hater, and Alquan, we don't even know if you're black.
Yeah, okay. That's what they tell you, and you dumb enough to believe it. I got you, bro. Yeah, you don't look black to me at all.
That Negro has never shown his face.
Yeah,
but you showing us your ideas.
Yo,
good. Hopefully, I can get into one of you buck broken Americans. You foundational buck broken Americans, get in your mind.
Yo, what's up? Yo, what's up, Shanique?
Hey, broadcast. I am sitting back watching. Hey, how you doing, Cassandra? I'm hearing you. I'm seeing you, and I'm seeing this guy. Hello. Oh gosh.
That's a lawsuit thing right there.
It's really been a show for real. You know what's funny? Ever since I moved to Arizona, I'm from New York, like Alquan, right? Ever since I moved to Arizona, I've developed a few things I like that maybe some people might not think I should be liking, but I do like them. And when you go into research, you find out that they're more ours than anybody else's. But I like country music, and you're making me feel a little bad now because you're saying these things that sound absolutely insane. And you wearing a hat, take the hat off, for goodness sake. I get my country boogie on too. And this is not necessarily what you should be saying. This isn't what you should be saying to a whole bunch of people who really have a stake in building this country. It's if we're supposed to be considering ourselves second class, but that's not it at all. And I don't think that saying that I want to be around a certain type of people or wanting to be around, this is my country more than anybody else's. And I know natives can say that there's theirs too, but truth and believe, what you build belongs to you. And we did that. We built this. But don't think that I need or want to stay here because I don't go to parties where people don't like me. If I had the opportunity to leave today, financially, I would, because I just don't like being around folks if they don't like me. And mind you, I'm in a very palatable community, with very palatable people, in the sense that I haven't had any real issues that they may hate me. I don't know what goes on in their hearts, but I know that I've not seen that.
So you don't have, there's no racial conflict with white people. You just wording that so nice. You just can't
Well,
say
I
there's
try
no
to word
conflict
things
with
nicely.
them.
I do, because I don't want to be the person that's making people think one thing when the truth is I have a whole bunch of other feelings. And I feel like, yeah, I deserve something, because everybody who's ever touched this land has gotten something. And we have built this land and we got something. But when I get mine, thank you so much and goodbye. That's how I feel about it. Not, oh, let's build it all. No. I can be pleasant with anybody and I can live here while I have to, but don't think that I have some integrity to staying here and a connection in the sense that, oh, I love this place and the people here, because all of the things that they say this country is built on is lies. Every treaty, everything they've ever said that they stand for, they don't agree with. They don't really wholeheartedly believe. And if they do believe it, they don't apply it to us as a whole. Now, if you get those individuals, then great. But I believe, I don't know, was it Muhammad Ali that said, if you have a whole room of snakes coming at you, and are you going to just keep the door open because, you know, one of them is friendly? And I'm just roughly paraphrasing. But the idea is, do I really want to sit and stay in a country just because some people there have been nice to me? And no, as a Black person, our whole, as you said, legacy in this place has been us overcoming everything that says we hate you, we'll use you until you literally, as they say, meat falls off your. They have people in where you say you're from, Jamaica. They've had people who the meat and muscle separated from their bones.
I'm not from
working
Jamaica.
so hard.
Stop people lying about me. My dad is Jamaican, but I
So
was
isn't that
born
you
and
then?
bred.
But
Huh?
but that's your cult. That's you. If your dad is Jamaican, then you're
Okay,
Jamaican.
culturally, I grew up as a Black American.
But
Okay?
they raised
I mean,
you, correct? Did they raise you?
No. My dad, okay, my mom, I'm a product of a single mother. I don't know if you ever heard of Black people having single mothers. A guy came from
My parents were
Jamaica.
divorced. I was a single mother as well. But you know what she said to me? She said a lot of things that have zero to do with me saying I'm going to just go along to get along and look shiny because people like that look. No, you're a Black man. You have a responsibility as a Black man not to be what you're presenting right now. And I'm not trying to offend you. I don't want to offend you. The impression I'm getting from you is that you don't like what is you. Am I right or am I confused?
No, I refuse to allow Black people around me to be hypocritical and act any type of way with like no standards. So I call out
All people are
hypocrisy.
hypocritical.
I call
All
out.
people are hypocritical.
Hold on.
People.
I call out Black people being hypocritical and social things that Black people do. I talk about them. And
Social
people.
things.
Yeah, like okay, like we use okay, we use hold on, sister, hold on. We use our historical disadvantages and what our ancestors suffered through, like i.e. racism and actual like racism. No, hold on. We try to use that as a cudgel. People who didn't go through what our people like we didn't go through what people went through in the 60s, okay?
No.
And people try to use that experience as a cudgel to get what they want and to shut people up. Black people do this too much. And when I say this, people hold on. When I say this, people take that as I'm anti-Black.
Yes, it sounds that way because you speak as if the things that we have gone through have stopped. They may not be the same way that they're executed, but believe you me, they have not stopped. When someone can be killed as a snuff film on the news that happens to be Black and a whole world watches them, what's different than being lynched or hung?
Okay.
Like, what's different? What's changed?
Actually, that's okay. Okay.
And I don't care what he may have done. Thank you. I'm confused.
Oh well, I'm just like there's a lot out there. So let's because we've talked a lot about a lot of different things, but what I'm saying is it's not my problem that too much of our people have a lower level of thinking when they see certain things. They get quote unquote triggered and they don't want to think things through. They just want to assume, and that's
what
their
triggers
problem.
them. What do you mean?
When I say Black people commit more, or black men commit more violent crimes than they should in this country. I'm not putting a number out there. I'm not saying black men are bad or whatever, but we have a violence problem in our
That's
community
not
when it
true,
comes
though.
to young black men.
That
Yes, it is true. Yes, it
but
is true.
no,
Yes,
you
it
made
is.
it. You made a
We kill each other.
statement,
We kill
but you
each
made a
other. We
statement that
kill each
has
other
no
per capita
quantifiable
at
way
a
to
higher rate.
measure.
Okay,
No,
ladies,
no.
Prove what
can
you
you
just
please
said.
listen?
Pull it up.
Ladies,
The FBI
can you
says that
stop?
white
Can you
men are
stop
the most
talking so I
violent.
can talk?
Prove
Please?
what you
Can you
just said.
stop? Can you stop
All
talking
right, hold on,
so
man.
I can talk?
Right.
Prove it.
Thank you.
We gotta
Jamaican,
move on.
Jamaican
Yo,
posses of the 80s and 90s.
all right, time out, y'all, because we gotta move on, right? So I want to give everybody a fair shot to say, but like, I will say this though, America's Rifleman, you have been the one that keeps saying everything we talk about is violence, this violence, that. You know, when Cassandra was saying it earlier, then when I said the thing, like, yo, when you look at the actual like statistics, like, yo, the crime, like amount of people in jail, like period, for murder is like super low, like on some all-time low stuff. Like if you actually look, most people are in jail for like non-violent drug offenses. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, per capita. When I talk about violence, I'm talking about at per capita. Okay, I'm not saying most black people are violent. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying per capita. There is a certain percentage of black men that are too high that are violent. That's not the vast majority of black men. It's a small cohort, but they do an outsized amount of damage. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's the problem with that per capita thing though, because. But go ahead. Finish what you're saying.
I'm
try
just,
to wrap it up though, because you know.
okay. Well, I'm just saying, like, I can't, like, black people. You cannot present information to the vast majority of black people without them just being able to sit down, take in the information, and say, "I disagree," and just carry on in a constructive manner. But they got to get triggered. They got to say, "Oh, you hate yourself. You hate black people. You hate the," you know what I'm saying? And it just always gets reduced down to that, and that's why I have a problem. That's why I like speaking out in this manner, because it exposes black folks. Because like prime example, whatever. I'm just saying, like, look, at the end of the day,
so you're like
in order for
exposing
black
black
people
people,
to become
but not
more
exposing
powerful,
white people.
in order, you can okay, we got free speech. Expose who you want to expose, but guess what? We do enough damage to ourselves. We do enough damage to ourselves to where white people don't even have to do shit to us. We destroy ourselves.
Right. They got guys like you out here trying to help them out.
No, they got Planned Parenthood where they get most black women to think in order for them to be economic viable, they got to kill their fucking black child.
Oh, and white women don't. White women don't ever.
I don't care about white women. I care about black babies. I care about black babies, woman, not white women.
Damn, you called her a woman?
Is she not?
All right, come on. All right, so
yo, is it sunny out in Oregon? How come you got that hat?
No, it's actually not sunny right now.
I thought that was the forested state.
Actually, yeah. Well, the western part of the state, but I'm going horseback riding again. I went yesterday, and I'm going tomorrow. So this is my favorite shitty hat.
You know what, First Rifleman, I'm gonna also talk about the like people, like I couldn't include people like Thomas Sowell, so we can get down to all of those arguments. So we're gonna have a whole nother thing.
He's a white man, though.
Who, Thomas Sowell?
White talking points. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
No, he's a black. You're not a white man, but you have like Reddit talking points. Like it's like kind of like, you know, even with the per capita thing, like I could show you like how that argument is used in certain ways. You know, like they'd be like, well, per capita, but then other things when other people lead it per capita, they'd be like, well, the raw numbers show, you know what I'm saying, this and that. You know what I'm saying? Like these arguments are you, but like
I've sparred with these numbers with a lot of like 4chan, like white supremacist talking point. Like actually I talk to white supremacists, okay, and they always they did just what you said, but all you got to do is just hold up the numbers of what their people are doing. And also too, when they talk about black people, just be like, you don't do shit with white people. So there's a way to talk. There's a way to talk about it, but when you present me with information that doesn't make black people look good, I don't need to take that personally and have to defend the honor of black people at every turn. And that's what a lot of black people like to do.
I feel what you're saying, but the point is though, when you start bringing up like black people commit. But if you actually look at like that, like you say, you bring up numbers. If you look at the FBI numbers, like you would see like violent crime is like probably one of the least amount of things, you know what I'm saying, well, people are in jail for, you know what I'm saying, like, and that's everybody, you know what I'm saying, like, but also violent crime in the inner cities and all of this stuff, because they've, you know, like, as more technology grew, the less violent it has become, period. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you can't really say that argument because it's not really true, you know?
Right. Plus, I would bet that at least half black violence comes from Caribbean imports committing the violent acts in the black areas. And then they just throw all the numbers together and make us look bad.
Well, since you keep trying to, because we all the way off.
Did a Jamaican knock you over the head when you were a kid or something?
Actually,
I was thinking that about you.
Actually, one of them did.
Exactly.
We in the conundrum right now, Shanique, consider it. But since we got all the way off of Karl Marx, y'all did an excellent job defending Karl Marx, even though y'all ain't Marxists. Before Alquan run, you know what I'm saying, on this JFK thing.
Alquan is not even black.
The Honorable John F. Kennedy.
The Honorable John F. Kennedy. Wow. But he also just said that whatchamacallit, what's his name? Khalid Muhammad may have been the agent, right?
He was.
Oh wow.
No. I'm talking about Elijah Muhammad. He's freaking from the Caucasus.
I said Khalid Muhammad.
Oh, Khalid, like the black dude with the bald head?
Yeah.
What?
We don't know nothing about that one.
No, he's not. He's black.
But Alquan, isn't he an agent?
I said he was a Freemason.
Okay. But this dude is not, so he likes black people because he's not a Freemason. Whether he is or not, I don't know. He's been an American president.
Well, oh, you mean JFK? Like
Yeah.
I said, black people have been taught by conservatives to hate the Kennedys. And so, that gets people like me into looking into it. And politically speaking, I can't find any.
Look up Chappaquiddick.
That's funny. Chappaquiddick. And it's funny because I was just checking that out the last few weeks. And they did suggest that my man was having an affair with a married woman, and she was in the car, and Mary Jo was in the backseat sleeping in the car by mistake, and that's why she died.
He killed that bitch.
Damn, she got to be a bitch. Yeah.
Well, I just want to play this. You know who James Meredith is, right, Alquan?
Yeah.
Okay, on his working with the Kennedys. Let's see how much.
Is that the same guy that turned coon last year?
Turned coon. He died. No, he's dead. He's an older brother. He died like a while ago.
That wasn't the same guy I was thinking about.
No, James Meredith is the dude that integrated Ole Miss in the 60s.
Okay.
He's how you was basing, because John F. Kennedy loved black people because this was who you was basing it off, James Meredith.
Well, no, I wasn't basing it off of that. I was basing it off a whole lot of other things that he did.
The civil rights stuff, right?
Yeah, he drafted up the civil rights bill.
This is the beginning.
Hey guys, I gotta go work for my white man. So I gotta take off. It's been a very interesting conversation. I would actually love to talk to these sisters again about specific topics to where we can parse down, because I think we would agree with a lot of stuff. I just think we kind of talk past each other on certain stuff. But I think at the end of the day, we want the same thing. So God bless all y'all. I love you black people, even though y'all piss me off. But I still am here to make black people stronger. Well, not you, Alquan. You're something else. You're not black. So until I see a face picture, you ain't black. So, but it's cool and it's sad because you don't convince smart people like Forecast that you're black. So it is what it is.
Well, I never said none of y'all or anything. I don't know. I'm not gonna judge anybody.
You've actually convinced people that you're a black American. I could tell by your Jamaican facial features that you're not, though.
Right. See, I knew he was gonna go to some other stuff. That's why I didn't even go there. That's why I'm like, I ain't convincing that anybody is anything. You know what I'm saying? Y'all on y'all own at this one. But y'all can come on here and keep cutting yourselves, which is crazy.
Only a Jamaican like my man that was in that hot chocolate band can wear a mustache like that.
All right, but anyway, speaking of James Meredith, you know what I'm saying? Working with the Kennedys, you know what I'm saying? Because Alquan was like, nobody convinced him to do anything.
John Kennedy had no interest in blacks or in equality or fairness. And Bobby Kennedy didn't at first, but he's a person, you know, anybody that can be with I can't ever think his name, this anti-communist, is capable of switching. And that's what Bobby Kennedy did. You know, I said this once, and Caroline Kennedy was in the audience. She got up and walked out. That the real decision of the Kennedy administration that helped blacks was Bobby Kennedy, not the president. I mean, she had never heard nothing like that before, because I wasn't the only one believed it, but I was the only one that said it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they so this is why it was important. The other thing was,
now this was only the intro because he keep going, but I'm gonna stop it right there, because I'll just play that at the beginning.
Well, so far, I didn't hear anything negative.
Well, the first thing you said was nobody encouraged him to do anything. He's sitting here telling you the story about how he didn't care, because you were like, "Yo, I think John F. Kennedy cared about us," and he just said, "Well, he didn't care about us."
No, I said he proactively did things for black
It was
people.
not proactive. It was
but according to what this man just said, he just said the real Kennedy that did things for black people was Bobby Kennedy.
But he's going to continue to explain why. He was like, neither one of them wanted to do anything, because if you pay attention in the 1960, what was his opinion about black people in 1960?
I'll tell you this.
When he was a senator coming up, there was no opinion on him, because he didn't give a damn about black. He used them as a political tool. The same way Joe Biden said, "Oh, I'm gonna do this and do this for black people."
But
he
if that's
didn't
the
give a
case,
damn about black people.
Let's roll what you said and say that that's true. If that's the case, how come he waited until he became president to start getting busy?
He didn't. That was the problem. Black people are. That's why you see. I showed you.
Okay, this is what I advise you to do.
This is him
check out his predecessor and his successor.
Yo, you could. I know. What did they do? What did they do? What did they do? What did his predecessor and the one before that do?
His predecessor.
Did they integrate the army?
That's what I'm saying. His predecessor seemed to have been neutral. He didn't seem like he hated black people, but he just seemed to have been neutral.
The president, he didn't hate black people, and he just because he integrated the army, because he needed black people to fight in the war. That means he liked black, because all these people got to do is smile in your face and make
I said he seemed neutral. Now LBJ is on record being a racist and a killer. On top
Some of them are. Why do we think white supremacy care about us? None of them care about black people. What did he do personally for black people? Personally, besides integrate or whatever. And that was the worst thing he could have did for us, because they needed black folk to fight. Period. I don't see a president that has done anything for black people.
Right, man, includes
ever.
Obama.
What did Obama do, sweetheart? No, hold on. Tell me one thing black folk Obama did for black people.
Nothing. He told us we got to pull ourselves up our own bootstraps.
Did he give us a string for the boot?
Right.
Did he give us a string for the boot?
No, he didn't give us nothing.
Okay, then. What do you mean he gave us something?
I didn't say he gave. I'm saying he didn't give us. nothing.
Okay. I thought you said he did. I'm like, dude, they did more killing of black people when he was in office.
A lot of people think he was the savior. He was no savior.
And neither was JFK.
Yes, he was.
What did he do? Okay, tell me
why do you think that black people always had a picture of JFK, Martin Luther King,
and Jesus? So Jesus is the savior too. Is Jesus? Okay. and by the way, y'all watch how hypocritical that statement is. Was MLK savior?
A lot of people believe so.
Do you believe so?
It's not about me. It's about the masses.
You don't believe that, do you?
So
why would you use that argument if you don't believe it? Why would you use
I didn't
that
even say
argument?
I didn't believe it. I'm just saying.
So you do believe it then? Martin Luther King was a hero. Go ahead and say it.
Martin Luther King,
There's nothing
even
wrong
though he
with
was
that.
even though he was an agent for the NAACP, which is also the small hats, there were some things he did that were positive. Whether we agree with them or not.
Was he a hero?
To a lot of people, he was.
To you, was he a hero? to Alcorn was
I
Martin
never
Luther
looked
King
at him
Jr.
as a hero.
You see how hard
Because-
was JFK a
and
hero to
that's
Alcorn?
that's because I wasn't
see
living
it?
in those times. So if
So
I was
was
living in those
JFK
times,
We
So
can look
was
at white folk
JFK
as
a hero?
but not black people.
I didn't say,
All of us.
JFK was a hero?
like I said, some people will see him as a hero.
Would Alcorn see him as a hero?
A personal hero or a general hero to the country?
Dude, you know what you're talking about.
Lord have mercy. You see,
Well-
when he don't answer the question, then he cut himself every time he don't
But
answer.
check it out. If you're talking about among presidents concerning black people, then I put him very high on the list. Probably number one, if not number two. Obviously, you know who number one would have to be just by
I
default.
thought we got rid of the coons.
You're
not wrong.
But see, see, I'm more of a realist. I'm not going to just say I'm totally going to talk against white people just because. You know, that's good
but
effect,
what
good
did you
sound
still
bite.
have not told us what JFK did for you. Name one. Name.
No, it's not what he did for me. He did for us.
Listen, what did he
do
do specifically for black
Okay.
people?
Again, he went by the Constitution.
Did you hear what I asked you? What did he do exactly for black people?
I can't say it in 2 seconds.
Okay, thank you. So why is it that we always?
No, I'm saying I need more time to get it out, so I can say it.
Why do we always put white folk on a pedestal?
It's not
Why?
white.
They don't have to do anything.
That's the problem. I'm not talking about white people. I'm talking
You
about
talking
JFK.
about JFK? He white, ain't he?
But see, you talking about a group.
Has he transcended his whiteness?
You're talking about a group. I'm talking about one man.
Okay, I'm talking about JFK. Let's talk. What did he do for you? You still have not answered that.
Well, that's
But you
because you
got this
keep
man on a
talking. So
pedestal.
you keep
No,
talking.
go ahead. Yeah, let him answer the question
Go
because
ahead.
he's just gonna contradict himself. Go ahead.
Again, my man, he went by the Constitution of the United States to make black people more equal. He gave the secret. He put the first black man on the White House detail on the Secret Service. He did that. Nobody asked him to do that.
So that was the biggest. That's the big wow. moment.
Now we're talking about the biggest. I thought
That's
you
a
said
big
something.
wow moment.
No,
He listen. The man tackled those Southern governors and told them, "We have a constitution that you have to obey. You can't do your own thing. You can't discriminate against these black people. You must integrate."
So was integration the best thing that ever happened to black people?
See, now we moved the goalposts now.
No, I got you because he did this.
Yeah,
thing,
I'm just.
with
I'm
integration.
done with these sold out Negroes. I'm sorry. I'm done. I am so done.
You said it, Cassandra. I'm with.
All right, so
See,
he moved
we
forward
can't
with
be-
integration.
we can't-
This is why we'll never get ahead right here.
Yeah, because we have to learn to be reasonable.
Reasonable.
So reasonable how?
In other
How
words,
is that
we just
reasonable?
we can't just say, okay, well, this person is white. The hell with them.
That's not what anyone's saying. She's asking you to realistically look at what was done. How have you achieved more because of what that individual did?
That's not what she asked.
Wait, hold on.
I think that's what she asked.
Wait,
That's
hold
not
on.
what she asked.
Acting like you don't know.
Come on,
Come
y'all.
on, stop.
Let me play the rest of this so we can see what he says about it. You know what I'm saying?
For having the strongest position on the black, what they used to call them back in those days, civil rights plank, than anybody. As a ploy, Kennedy toyed with that. Not only got it in, but it elected him, it nominated him president. Okay. Now, it was a matter of time. And the day Kennedy took the oath of office, that same day, I dropped my letter in the mail to old man. You understand? I mean, right.
You sent in your application for admission to the University of Mississippi.
Right.
And the timing was, you arranged the timing that way because what?
Because I wanted to put pressure. You see, the civil rights claim was a political position and ploy.
What?
And had been even little talked about since the occurrence. I was wanting to force the Kennedys to either live up to it or be immediately criticized.
or shut the hell up, like, and criticize like they were, because you know what it took. And this is what I consider that politician I showed last time from Virginia, how he's able to get in. All they got to do is smile, people of color,
Exactly.
put forth a bill and say, "Oh, I love people of color." You know,
They don't even have to show you. They don't have to do anything for you, and you're gonna love their draws.
Yep.
I think conservative. Again, it happened to me too. The conservatives, the Republicans, they have brainwashed, especially these days.
How is he? This was the dude who went through it.
No. Listen, I'm saying they really, and he's telling it from his perspective. And people revise history once they're about to pass on because they want to, change their image.
Dude, this from the 80s, yo. What are you talking about? Right, this from the 80s.
But he wasn't 20 years old, though, right?
He has hundreds of stories telling this. I just picked the shortest one. It's like hour-long.
Did you have a story about him talking about LBJ or Eisenhower?
Yeah. Well, he did talk about them. Yeah.
What did he say about them?
Well, they was also the same. He didn't say that they was good people. I don't think black people think that LBJ was cared about them though.
Right. I mean, he's on record calling Martin Luther King a nigger. So.
No, he's literally saying I respected Dr. Martin Luther King. They have differences with this brother James Meredith. I'm saying LBJ is on record calling Martin Luther King he's a race. Yeah, who's saying he's good?
And Nixon as well.
That's fine. And Kennedy is no different from the rest of them.
But he's not on record calling anybody a nigger though.
Yeah, but he's on record
he didn't get
acting
caught
the same way doing right. He just ain't do it on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Okay, great for him.
No, they don't call you on record. You good, huh?
Okay, because at first you were saying black people back then. I think you look at JFK, but I don't think you look at being black and then JFK, your impact on you.
I
think he didn't want to defend his white voters. That's why he wasn't doing anything for black people. He wanted to win the election, bro.
But again, if he was like that, then he wouldn't have done anything once he got into office. Even that movie, The Butler, they talked about the fact that JFK,
what did he do in office, bro? Name it.
Name one thing.
Emphasis on movie.
Right.
Okay.
Name one thing.
Like I said, my man forced the Southern governors to follow the Constitution.
That's nothing. He's not doing that for black people. He did it for himself. What are you talking about?
What do you mean black people did it for themselves?
For black people.
Yeah, because that's not true. Because you do know, they was fighting integration after he got killed and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, you gotta say it was a coup. I mean, what do you expect?
So he died for black people, huh?
I didn't say that. See,
you said it was.
I didn't even say he was the president for black people. All I'm saying is that the man helped black people out. You can't deny that.
But you can't tell me what you just said. One thing.
Because every time I try to tell you something, you interrupt.
Dude, now let him answer. Let him answer.
Actually, I'm gonna compile a list. So the next time I'm gonna ask this question,
I hope so.
I'm gonna tell you.
You did all this research on JFK and you don't got one thing on this list already?
No, I do. But the point is, when I point them out, you say that they're small, and a lot of the things he did, you think Martin Luther King did it.
Who said Martin Luther King did it? You, I said, because you haven't named one thing to say Martin Luther King did it or not.
The Southern governors, he forced them to follow the Constitution.
But how is that true?
Listen. For it, see, that's what I'm saying. Every time I'm about to say it, I get interrupted.
Go ahead.
Because they wanted segregation, and they said that that's their way. He said, "I am the president of the United States. I have a constitution." That's what he goes by. That I have to uphold, and you're not a part of another country. So you have to uphold these. You have to integrate these schools. And
you act like that's a good thing.
Let him
well, see, it's not about whether it's good or not. See, some people think it's good. Some people, in hindsight, say it's not good. But the point is, at that time, you had the Jim Crow laws. You had black people can't do this, white people could do that. But integration at that time, especially in the South, that was to make these races stop being evil to black people.
Did it work?
Right.
Well, I mean, it worked for over racism. Yeah.
So you're telling me while he was in office, right? Because you say he passed his law, he went down there and got. Because I'm not sure, because after he died, they were still doing integration things. You know, what I'm saying? So
again, the man got killed. He didn't just drop out of the race. He got killed.
Right. But you say that's what he did, though. But I don't know if he accomplished it.
Well, that's why I said you got videos on this guy. You can go get the videos on JFK phone conversations, and you can hear for yourself what he was doing behind the scenes that never made the news.
Oh no, I heard all of them. That's what I'm saying. I heard
if you
all
did, then you would know exactly what I'm talking about.
Because it's ironic, right? Because I don't know could he fire J. Edgar Hoover? Because he was supposed to be friends with
actually,
King,
matter of
right?
fact, they say he was supposed to fire him, but Hoover had the goods on everybody, so that's why he kept his job.
Okay.
He had the goods on him too.
Yep. Matter of fact, I went to the National Archives and I found some FBI photos. They were spying on JFK like they ain't no tomorrow.
Right, and they had stuff to find, right? Because he was such an exemplary individual that he saved us.
Well,
No,
I mean, his transgressions were about his extramarital affairs, but that's
right. But you measure a man by his conduct, and if he can't keep the integrity and the contract with the woman he claimed to love, then I don't think he saved black people. I'm not expecting him to save me. I don't think anything we're arguing about now, in terms of where we are and what we've achieved or haven't achieved, dictates that or states that he did very much. I just don't understand how you see that. I'm really confused.
But again, see, this is the way I look at it. Whether he's cheating on his wife, that's between he and his wife.
No, it's between him, his wife, God. He didn't have to marry her. That's not the point, though. But that's not the point. What I'm saying is, if you get me a liar and you tell me he's an honest and fair man, I'll say, no, this person's a liar. But when you say that, oh, he did so much for black people because he kept up the Constitution was written. So then the Constitution writers did something for us as well. Like it doesn't add up to me, because I don't see how we are still to this day, 2023, trying to get things when what bill that just passed recently? The what is it? Oh goodness, the Stop Asian Hate bill that passed. Gay and lesbian people can get married, that passed. We still haven't gotten the daggone 40 acres or the doggone mule. I'm just trying to understand how any of these presidents did anything for it, let alone the one that claimed that he was black. I don't get how any of them have done anything for it.
But you say that he was a liar. The one thing he didn't lie about his policies and his
Did you not just hear the brother say it was a ploy to get votes, bro? Just like any other politician
Well,
does.
that's his perspective. That doesn't mean that that's the truth, though.
But if you add it up, they're not a ploy?
Bro,
didn't it look like a ploy?
Why he
every politician is always trying to get
he was trying to get
now he's moving the goalposts.
No, because he was also trying to get KKK votes, which is why he hesitated. Because you're talking about James. Did you know? Because you listened to all of those records, right? Did you know that him and his wife had the black troops pulled out of James Merida because they didn't want to offend white people by having black soldiers down there? Did you know that the Kennedys did that with JFK and his brother? Did you know that?
Well, I mean, again, the results. That's what you got to look for.
What were the
or
results?
are you still in discretion?
What were the results?
Listen,
He's a cheater. What was the result?
Yeah, but he's cheating on his wife. That's between him and his wife.
No, it's not. It's called
no,
integrity.
it's not. As long as he didn't do nothing funny as president.
Dude, if he's cheating on his wife, does that mean that he's going to treat you right? And he's doing something wrong
But
with
his
you?
record shows that he
His
did.
record, it shows nothing for black people.
Right.
But as president, it shows that he did the right things. Cheating on his wife.
So did the president that integrated the. You telling me the president in 1945? I think it was Truman or something, who said a bunch of racist stuff.
Yeah.
Did a bunch of racist stuff, and he integrated the army. But because he integrated the army, he did stuff for black people.
Well, I mean, some could argue that that's something.
What was that? Allowing us to go and die for people who hate us?
Well,
what is that?
Country that hate you?
But they chose to do that though, and they wanted that.
Hey,
They wanted to die for a country?
Well, hey, apparently, or else they would have joined the military.
Alcorn would have been like, "Yo, Bill Clinton was black in the 90s. If this was the
No,
90s,
that's not me. That's not me.
In the 90s, you would have.
Nope, I was never one of those type of
Okay, in the 1850s, you like Abraham Lincoln is our hero. He's gonna come here because
I bet you would have been doing that too. You would have been saying that too if he said, "I'm about to free
Yeah,
you."
right. No, he was trying to send black people to Africa. Did you know that?
Yeah, I knew that.
And so what? So you would have been happy?
Well, I mean, you guys would have been happy because you
But
do
you
that Pan-Africanism, right?
All right. So because you just said black people would have been happy, I should be happy he was freeing us. I should vote for him. Like, because I never said I don't get into the Pan-African versus African thing.
See, I guess the point I'm trying to make is
There's a bunch of deflections.
black people have been brainwashed into thinking that Kennedy was a bad president, evil, but yet the ones who were truly evil, I don't hear black people talking about them.
Who?
I think they're all evil.
Who thought that Kennedy was evil?
Right.
Like Bush 1, probably the
Who
most.
doesn't say that?
He's probably the most sinister president in history.
But his son blew up the 9/11. So what are you talking about?
Hell, Bush himself was probably involved in the assassination of JFK.
Bro, so you're saying he's a good white person compared to other bad white people?
Exactly.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying. So I take
I'm trying
the people,
to make sense of what you're saying.
So you guys are trying to group everybody together. I'm trying to just
Who's the
isolate
rest
this
of
man.
the-
So let's group presidents together of America. Presidents of America, right? Now, which presidents are black people say is great? You say Obama. We agree with you about Obama,
Typically, they say anybody that was a Democrat was great. Typically,
including JFK.
Yep.
And typically they be wrong about, like, with Obama and Clinton and whoever else you want to keep going back to. But Kennedy somehow just escapes this kind of mold, huh?
I mean, Clinton, he was practicing integration when he was messing with those black women.
What's so great about integration?
I didn't say it was great. I'm just making a statement.
Forecast. I thought American hung up. What happened? Is this American?
Thank you, right?
Oh, you didn't take his place. Oh my God, you just took his place, huh?
Yeah, that was funny.
Wow.
Let's try to let Malcolm.
You need to show your face. I need him to show his face. I'm sorry. Show your face, Alkaline. There's something wrong here.
I'm gonna try to let Malcolm, because apparently Malcolm X was tricked before the tricks even started happening. It was crazy.
Anytime a man running for president tells Negroes what he's going to do for them when he gets in office, and after he gets in office, he has time to do something for everybody else except the people that put him in office. He tricked the people who put him in office. He has the time to take a stand against U.S. Steel, against Castro, against Khrushchev, against Laos and South Vietnam and all these other places all over the world. But when it comes to time to correcting the injustices that are being inflicted against Negroes in this country, Kennedy sits up there like Nero. He's fiddling while Birmingham is burning.
Oh man, so what are you talking about, Biden or Kennedy here?
Well, I mean, you got to keep in mind, Malcolm X at the time was a representative of the the so-called radical Elijah Muhammad. So he was just parroting whatever Elijah Muhammad told him to say. So,
is that true?
Well, yeah, I mean, they have to be a so-called extremist group and talk about white to the devil after all. So he can't say anything nice about them.
He didn't tell him to not say anything, because Kennedy was beloved by Negroes such as yourself. So he didn't want to offend Negroes. And then he suspended Malcolm X for saying something about the beloved Kennedy, who most Negroes knew ain't do nothing for black people, but beloved them anyway.
Well,
So
how come they felt bad when he died then?
Who? Negroes?
Yeah.
The same reason why black people was crying because the Queen of England died. Bro.
Not black people over here.
Stockholm syndrome.
Exactly.
What are you talking about? Like, yo, I showed videos of people over here, all kinds of people, black people globally here.
Well, they must have been a Jamaican heritage or something.
Lord have mercy, bro. No, it's black people sitting there. Well, we shouldn't be making fun of somebody dying or laughing and stuff and getting on other black people. You know who else they cried about? Good old Betty White, another one that black people love so much.
Not Betty.
Yeah, I heard too. I got to get on all of them. You know what I'm saying? Black people did, back during the Civil War, black people, when Abraham Lincoln came to Richmond, you had black people on their knees calling them a god. You know what I'm saying? This is what black people do. Black people love people who don't love them back.
Well, I mean, I guess that's why Tariq Nasheed is popular, I guess. You know?
Forecast.
Yeah.
What was that last guy that left?
First Rifleman.
First Rifleman left the contagious bug because I think it's me now. You start talking about Betty. And I watched Golden Girls all through junior high school. I love me some Betty, and I did feel bad when she died.
Did we get you too?
And yes, she got me too. But then you wait, and then my grandfather got me a pendant when I was a kid. I had a pendant with JFK and Martin Luther King, and it's fun. It was on their pictures on both sides. So I mean, I have to be honest and be forthright.
But Shanique,
But you know what happened? I grew up, and then I started to hear the truth. And I think that's what we all need to do. We need to really open up whatever book or video or whatever. It's so easy these days, and realize that what we were sold when we were children is not necessarily the truth.
Right. And that's the thing. See, I was the opposite. I was always told that the Kennedys were evil, low down, and wrong for America.
Not from black people.
Yeah, from white people. And I kept asking myself, why? Why do these people hate these people so much?
They own people told you that?
Yeah.
Well, because the Kennedys.
Don't that say something?
How did the Kennedys get money though, bro? That's why.
Yeah, but how did they all get money? Shit.
Right. That's why a lot of people put them in the same category. You're the one trying to remove Kennedy from the category.
Yeah, but that was the father though. That wasn't them.
Oh yeah. Okay. So
the father, but not them. Wow.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Hey, I mean, see, that's the thing.
This right here is showing us just how lost we are. We are so traumatized that anything white folk do, we will look up to it. This right here.
You keep saying white. You keep saying white folk. I'm just talking about one man. That's all
I'm talking about how sick we as black people are. Listening to you talk is so disgusting, and we still don't get it. We're not learning their tactics. We are still going all out for them and not really calling them out.
I guess you don't understand
that
they blew his head off for a reason.
Okay. Does that bother you?
It's white on white crime, bro. It's not my
Exactly.
Well, see, but you got you're not interested in the reasons. You're interested in the fact, oh, he's white. The hell with him.
Yeah, I mean, it's not my problem. He's dead. Like, what do you want me to do? I can't, like, because my problem with the whole thing is, right, that you will have black people will be like, well, Martin Luther King was an agent. Like, I don't support but then when it comes to JFK, blah, blah, well, make all kind of excuses for this white boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no difference. Like, if Martin Luther King was a damn agent, he's working for JFK then. You know what I'm saying?
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
Okay.
They were working for the same people. How about that? How about the whole political system is rigged against people like you? Well, now I'm starting to wonder if you black too. It's rigged against people like us. Okay. I'm confused.
But actually, JFK was not working for the same people. That's why they took him out. Because he was not a Mason. That's number one. I looked that up. He was not a Mason.
So he liked you because he wasn't a Mason.
Yeah,
he spoke against them. He said, we can't have these secret societies. I work for the government, the Constitution, not a secret society.
But when did the government work for you, for us, for black people? When does it work for us? It's not because he's the enemy of their enemy. He's our friend. He's not.
Who said any of those? I didn't say any of those things.
But I'm saying, I'm trying to understand you.
Right.
But you are saying it without saying it. Yes, you are saying it. You're taking it up for a white man that did absolutely nothing.
That's how you look at it.
No, that's how you
No, that's how you look at it, and that's the problem.
But time out. It's a problem, right? So are you taking up for JFK?
I'm not taking up for him. I'm trying to explain to you that he's not what you thought he was.
Herschel Walker.
That's quote unquote taking up for him. That's what taking up for somebody. That's what you do when you take up for somebody. You try to explain away why, like, wow, we have all of these black people from back then, from like, you know, saying how like, yo, he never really did anything because he was not trying to offend white racist white people either, because he was trying to get their vote the same way he's trying to get your vote. Right. But you don't listen to them either, though. You say Malcolm X was kicked out the Nation of Islam, but why Malcolm X had falling out with the Nation of Islam?
You know, you got black people today that say, to hell with Jesus, to hell with Muhammad, to hell with Malcolm X. So, you know, you got people who hate people all the time, no matter what, especially if they belong to a fringe group.
What's your point?
Thank you. Put it on the table.
The point is that there's nobody out there who's not going to get hate.
Well, I'm not even
Some,
hating JFK.
some people still hate Damar Hamlin because they're like, God damn it, he messed up the game. I mean, come on.
Look, wait, okay, so JFK is one of those people. Then how about that? Since you're bringing up some irrelevant point, you know. But okay, so why Malcolm X had a falling out? Because you just said the Nation of Islam told him to say that.
No. What you played earlier, that's what he was told to say. Stuff like that, to be negative.
Okay, so why did he continue to be like, yo?
Some months ago with your leader. Well, I've been silent for the past 90 days because of some statements I made concerning the President of the United States, which were distorted. They were distorted. And yes. What did you say, Malcolm? Well, I said the same thing that everybody says, that his assassination was the result of the climate of hate. But only I said the chickens came home to roost, and which means the same thing. You feel that we're making progress in this? No. You stick a knife in my back 9 inches and pull it out 6 inches. There's no progress. You pull it all the way out. That's not progress. The progress is healing the wound that the blow made, and they haven't even begun to pull the knife out, much less try and heal the wound. They won't even admit the knife is there.
All right, but I had other ones, so I'm gonna skip it because we took too long. But
I do have to say though, at that time too, he was still under Elijah Muhammad right there. He was just cleaning up what was said because he didn't he knew behind the scenes that Elijah Muhammad was Uncle Tom, and the Nation of Islam was a white power organization and not a black power organization.
And JFK is white power.
About our brother again. You didn't have this smoke for Kennedy.
Thank you.
But you got all this smoke.
Who is literally JFK? Who is literally white power? A white dude with power.
Oh no, I got to clear that up. She just said I have smoke for Malcolm X.
Sounds that way.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I thought that's what you said.
No,
that's what it
if
sounds
you
like.
notice, no, I call Elijah Muhammad the Uncle Tom.
Okay, but did you have that same smoke for MLK? I mean, for JFK?
Why should I?
See, this is what I'm talking about with black people. You got all this smoke for your own, but nothing.
So you want me to just be mean for no reason? You want me to be mean for no reason?
So what did he do?
You just was mean for no reason just now.
I was mean for a reason.
White man didn't do nothing for you.
Hey, Bob Quan, you did a lot of studying on JFK. What did he do after the Birmingham bombing where those 4 little black girls got killed in that bombing? What did he do?
I'm not really sure, but I know there was an investigation. That's all.
You're not really sure.
Oh, okay. But he's sure about everything else. Dude,
And this
you
was
know what?
And this was another riot under JFK.
But again, but you got to understand those Southern governors, they were renegades, just like that rebel flag.
Well, I thought that's what he did for us, was stop him from being that way.
No, I know.
So he didn't stop it?
I didn't say he stopped it. I said he was talking to them to try to appeal to their humanity, but apparently they didn't have too much.
Yeah, a lot of people try to talk to them to appeal to their humanity, and
he was the president, so that's a different situation.
Oh man! All right.
Oh wow!
Well, this was another riot that happened under his belt at the Cambridge, and this was in the north, and I think Maryland. But it's not really. I had something to say about it, but his wife, she was going in on JFK. I'm gonna skip some of this because
I still didn't see that special. I think it was like 10 years ago. I got it on my computer. I still didn't watch that.
Because I wanted to ask you too. Because did JFK sign off on like the investigations Hoover was doing on Martin Luther King? Because he was supposed to be his friend, and he used Martin Luther King when he was in jail. Because before 1960, he didn't give a damn about Negroes. But then when he was running for president, that's when he got Martin Luther King bailed out of jail in Georgia. You know what I'm saying?
I thought you said that was a problem because he took too long.
No, that was the Birmingham joint when he made that was 1963. But,
okay, so he did get him out of jail.
Yeah, after like a while, you know what I'm saying. But that's when you get the letter from Birmingham with Martin Luther King in them. You know what I'm saying? But this was 1960. He was locked up for parking tickets or something. You know what I'm saying? And he got him out of jail for his political campaign, you know what I'm saying? But my thing is like, yo, who signed off on Hoover's investigation towards Martin Luther King when they was trying to call him, like, you know?
That was Bobby Kennedy, Hoover's boss.
Hoover's boss, Kennedy?
Bobby Kennedy, yeah.
But he did so much for black people, huh?
Now we talking about Bobby Kennedy.
Bobby Kennedy is not was because the brother earlier said it was Robert Kennedy.
He
You know
was the
what
one
I'm
who
saying?
cared about black people. But see, you gotta understand, signing off on that for Martin Luther King, that's not going against black people. That's just going against Martin Luther King.
Mm.
That's what you gotta understand.
My head hurts.
Oh my
So
God.
they didn't have like a whole COINTEL thing against I'm just saying COINTEL at this point.
But that was J. Edgar Hoover. See, J. Edgar Hoover is working independently. He was trying to do everything to keep his job. That's why he spied on all these presidents.
What about Medgar Evers? That was something different. Did he sign off on that one?
I don't know. But I know this NAACP representatives, also known as agents, that's who these people were.
Agents of who?
Of the small hat, the Jews.
Okay.
And they started the NAACP. People should know that by now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why they're agents. That's why that's clear cut. There ain't no debate about it. And I know these two women, I know they almost want to say something, but they figure, let me not say nothing on that.
But I will though. Okay, listen. So the NAACP is no different than JFK. I'm sure they did some good things for some black people somewhere in the world at some point.
Lord have mercy. Right.
I don't get.
You know what? They was a part of Brown versus Board of Education, so they're good white people.
There you go.
No, the NAACP, that's a part of white supremacy.
Wow.
Oh, man,
you don't believe so? You don't agree with that? Oh, they're quiet. They're quiet. My God.
No.
Sometimes you just don't even know. When you hear something so stupid, you just don't even know what to say.
So the NAACP is not a part of white supremacy. That's what you're telling me?
We're saying that the NAACP is no different from Kennedy. That's what.
No,
Thank you. That's what we're saying.
No,
it's
I'm
all the
asking him.
same.
So
All
the
the same.
NAACP. So the NAACP, is that a part of white supremacy?
Anything that does not uplift black people. How about that?
Now they can't answer. Now they can't answer. Now they can't answer clearly.
I think I just said something. Is my mic not on? I just said something.
We already told you all of it's part of white supremacy. Even your
There you
president,
go.
even your favorite president that you.
I'm starting to think you part of white supremacy. Like,
he's not my favorite president, but every
Well,
president
all of
after
them are. Every last one of them part of white
president,
supremacy.
every president after Kennedy, they've been puppets, following the script.
After.
So who is your favorite president then?
You have a favorite?
Actually, I really don't. But as far as
just
from a black perspective, it would be Kennedy.
And he did so much for black people, so that's why he's your favorite, huh? But you can't name one thing that he did for you. But he's your favorite.
I'm gonna compile a list for
Oh
people.
yeah, you
like
do
you.
that. You do that.
Yes, I'd love to hear that list.
Let me get detail.
And then take that mask off too.
Please. You're gonna have me put my own picture up just to see yours.
Well, you can see mine. You can see mine. All you gotta do is cash at me 10 G's. You can see mine.
That sounds like something an agent would say.
No, that sounds like something somebody who's telling you how important is seeing my face. It's that important.
That's because we know who you are. You just don't want us to know.
Yeah.
We know who you
Yeah.
are. We can see through all of that. Okay.
Yeah.
Just by what's coming out of your mouth.
I'm a rational thinking black man. And I just don't jump on the Tariq
Who love
Nasheed.
white folk.
I don't jump
White
on the
presidents.
Tariq Nasheed propaganda and hypocrisy while he's living with white supremacy, but he's trying to down white people all the time, but he loves to talking to
But
the
guess what? We're not talking about Tariq right now. We're talking about
Thank you. Who
We're
mentioned
talking
Tariq?
about you and your
well,
black.
she was kind of repeating some of his rhetoric word
We're
for
not
word.
talking about Tariq right now. We're talking about the lack of your blackness, the lack of you understanding what white people are not doing for you. but you
Believe
still
me,
love them.
I understand a lot more than you do, but I'm not an extremist with it, and I'm not blind to what's going on.
You're a whole lot more blinder than some folks.
Yeah,
huh?
you seem as though you're blind to a specific idea, the idea that they have not done as much as you think
See,
they've done.
You say they. That's the problem, right? there.
They, as in the establishment, as in, yes, white people.
Matter of fact, let me ask you this, because Forecast knows what I'm about. Who is they? Who's the master white people? Let's see if we're on the same page.
Wait a minute, say it again. What did you say?
who are they? Who are the master white people?
Master white people. What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Who are the white people who are in control?
We already know that. You know who's in control.
Yeah.
Who's in control?
I didn't hear it from you.
We know who's in control.
Well, we all know.
Who's
Okay.
that? Oh, now they're scared to say. Now they're
Scared to say.
That's a mind game. We don't play mind games.
See,
Play games in here.
Mind
Now
games.
You
forecast.
talked in circles. You talked in circles for the longest about JFK.
Forecast.
Now you want to ask us? You know how many different people are the masterminds? How many groups they fall into?
Right.
You want to talk about? You want to talk about who they are?
I got you. But forecast. You see this? This is why I always say you give them 2 tests.
No, he's trying to say that because he's trying to say.
No, don't answer. Don't answer.
No.
Don't answer for him. Don't answer for him. Let him see if they
But
say.
I disagree
you
with you,
mentioned-
though, Marco. I disagree with you, though. I'm saying because
You mentioned small hats. You mentioned Masons. You mentioned a few different people, right? So, but there's cross.
Now,
groups
that last question.
with that, correct?
But
There's
who's in
cross
charge
groups.
of the entertainment?
Yeah.
Who's in charge of the movies? Who's in charge of all of it? We
Okay,
already know it's
you
one
tell
group of white people.
you tell me who are those?
Who's in charge of the music? Who's in charge of the entertainment? We know who created, who funded slavery.
Now you say it.
Thank you.
You say
Okay,
it.
I think
Yes.
I've said enough.
So,
Okay,
so you're saying because Kennedy was a Protestant
she's
that he
scared.
doesn't fit into that group?
See, the white
Is that what you're
supremacy-
saying?
White supremacy.
The
they-
white
you know,
supremacy.
They got her tongue. But
The white supremacy. Because we didn't say small hats like you said earlier. Small hats.
say Jew. Say Jew.
Jew. What else? Whatever.
Okay.
The
Now-
point, though. The point. Because they're still white people.
See, but everybody has a leader,
What?
and they're the leaders
Oh
of the
my
white people.
Well, who's your leader right now?
That's what I was
Nobody.
thinking. Thank you.
White people.
Yeah. Okay.
White people. Yeah.
From the grave.
Well, if you feel that they're my leader, they're your leader too.
Still got him hooked.
I never said I love JFK. You the one that's saying he's.
I never said it either.
I never said, "Oh, JFK is some outstanding
But you
dude who
didn't
care
have
about
to.
black
You praised
people."
the
bro.
man for a whole half an hour. You didn't have
Thank
to.
you. You've shown your admiration
Okay,
for him.
Okay, let's do it like this. Starting with let's start with Eisenhower. Up until right now. Tell me the presidents that you like and don't like.
We ain't like none
There
of them.
is not
we ain't like
one.
none of them,
None.
including JFK. How about
None.
that? Now, can you
Not
say the
one.
same
Zero.
thing? Can you say the same
There
thing?
had to be one that you felt was okay.
No.
No.
Not a one.
They all upheld the system. They all
Not
maintained it. They
a
all had the
one.
same structure. No, they all was a part
Thank
of the
you.
same system. No, none of them.
Until we
See-
as black people start voting for a king over us, nothing will
See,
change.
Thank you.
Come on.
And the
See,
thing
it's-
is, and how can you find that unbelievable if you can only say one, but it's unbelievable to say zero? We have to find one that's cool, but you only can find one. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
no,
it's
but
unbelievable.
see, so you see, we're technically on the same page, except I'm more.
We're not. None
Not
of
at
us.
all.
You just
When
said I
see
can
you
only
do
find
something
one.
for black
We are
people,
not the
you will be
same.
my favorite.
Y'all let Alquan. What's up, everybody? Y'all let,
What's up?
Hey.
y'all let Alquan do that Herschel Walker two-step and talk y'all all in circles while you trying to kiss a white man ass. He done
He
went
did that.
from,
He
he
did
done went from
Ooh.
Kennedy to Masons to saying something about Martin Luther King. He done called Khalid Muhammad. Well, he was a Mason, want to call him a H. He done said all that while he over here trying to kiss that Irish white boy ass.
Yes.
Hey, John F. John, I keep telling you, I don't think Alquan black. You know, I really don't, because ain't no way no black man. I said, well, names you can't name nothing he did.
You know,
But when he forced
Listen,
the Southern
Bakari,
governors.
let me tell
He
you
ain't
this.
forced no Southern governors to do a damn thing.
Listen,
When James Meredith went down there to Ole Miss, damn John F. Kennedy said Mississippi is like a country of its own. There's nothing we can do.
Right.
He didn't. So what the hell you mean? So how did he force them to do something?
I didn't say
Then
he
you turn
forced them.
around. Then you turn around and say, right, force them to follow the Constitution. I guess it's okay to blow up little black girls in the Constitution.
Well,
but
hold
see,
on. Wasn't Martin Luther King? Wasn't he talking about you got to uphold the
King,
Constitution?
see, I ain't gonna let you. You ain't gonna get away with the Herschel Walker two-step on me, because now you trying to switch it up again and start talking about black folk. But now we talking about the president. Martin Luther King was not a president. Martin Luther King was an activist for black folks. Martin Luther King
Right,
was
he was
not.
he was an agent. He was an agent.
Okay, Martin Luther King was not. Martin Luther King was not a president. Every time somebody asks you something about John F. Kennedy, you go to trying to find some black folk to talk about.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. You done brought up Tariq, and I don't even like Tariq. But
I
he
only
ain't even
brought
got
up
nothing
Martin
to do
Luther
with
King
it.
because
You
he
done
was
brought
like,
up Tariq
he was
Nasheed.
talking
Who
about
else
the
you?
Constitution.
Okay, but he made him live by the Constitution.
No, that's what Martin Luther King. He kept saying you got to go by the laws of the
Okay,
land.
but what about John F. Kennedy?
That's what he tried to do. You know, those Southern governors were renegades.
Oh, I don't want to hear nothing about that, man. I don't want to hear nothing about no South. All this shit, the United States. You can say that right there. You can say that.
Listen to his conversations with these people, then you'll understand.
I
They
don't
thought
care
there was
about. I
something-
don't care about
they
his
thought there was something
conversation.
different.
I
Well, you
can
need
see
to. You need to.
I can see his actions. My conversation can say, "Oh, I got $100 million in the bank." That's what my conversation can say. But when I go to the bank, I might not have but $100. Your conversation can say anything. I can see your damn
But
actions.
see, Kennedy, his conversation and his actions go together.
So what? Okay, so give the action.
Like I said, he called the governors up. And
We need a new action.
no, and he drafted the civil rights bill that LBJ takes credit for. You like that, right?
No. We need some new actions.
They don't like nothing just because he's white. Hey, I don't like nothing.
Bro, who care? Who says anything that LBJ was good, bro? Whoever
Because
has
a lot
said
of
that, bro?
black people are saying, well, he put together the civil rights bill. It wasn't him. He just signed it because JFK was killed.
Yo, and that's why I keep comparing him to Abraham Lincoln, the president that was after Abraham Lincoln signed the 13th Amendment. You know what I'm saying? So you saying Abraham Lincoln was a good president too? He was your favorite?
I don't know why you even asked that. How's
Because
he
he's
my
the
favorite?
same. He's the same thing. It's the same story.
Man, come on. It's
Come
not the same
on.
thing. But Lincoln, again, he had to go by a lot of the stuff with his time, so he can't really support black people totally. But he did enough. It was a pivotal thing that was done, and you know it. None of you can deny that.
The dude who was going through that was like, yo, it wasn't even him doing it. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't trying to do that. He was a ploy. And you're talking about James Meredith, and I literally played James Meredith telling you that Kennedy don't care nothing about black people, and you saying
I
that he
didn't really
did.
hear that. I didn't hear that from his talk.
You didn't hear that? That's the first. That's the first sentence he said.
Because
So
he
literally
said
the first
Bobby Kennedy was the one who cared about black people. That's what he said. But a lot of people think the president is supposed to be their personal servant.
Listen to the first words he said.
John Kennedy had no interest in blacks or in equality or fairness.
Dude, that's the first sentence he said. I'm not even gonna play this one.
That's his opinion.
I think he need to hear it again.
Slow
That's
it
the
down,
dude
maybe.
That's the dude who you're
Put a
literally
little louder,
arguing
Cass. He didn't hear
for. This is the guy that you're arguing for, though. Like he's saying he did something for this dude here, and that therefore he likes black people. When the dude himself is saying John Kennedy didn't like black people or care nothing about us. Like, are you?
Well, I mean, some people.
You had you a couple Herschel Walkers up here tonight.
Some people are
Man, we
brainwashed
had
into
a few.
thinking that, well, if he was white, then that means he didn't care one way or the other.
What?
Some people believe, well, since he was white, that means he didn't care one way or the other.
Elquan, you had that Kennedy picture in your house, didn't you?
And that white Jesus.
Definitely not that.
You had Kennedy. See, he didn't say nothing about Kennedy.
No,
He had
no,
Kennedy.
I don't have a picture of nobody.
I ain't say you, but I'm just saying you grew up with it in your house, huh?
Actually, I didn't, but you see it in movies and
Exactly.
TV shows of the past. You see, black people always had that in there.
Let me ask you a question. You had any pictures of any white folks in your house?
Nope.
Why you love them so much?
Now, again, so-called Pan-Africanists, they always act extreme, but then when you break it down, and that's when you find out they really love the white man.
Okay, cool. Okay, so now you done said I love the white man. Okay,
No,
but watch
sir.
this. I'm just gonna ask you again. Why do you love him so much? See, you like to do the Herschel Walker two-step. Don't like to answer no question.
Please don't compare me to Herschel Walker of all people.
You damn sure doing the Herschel Walker two-step right now.
He never answers a question.
You just go. You'll just go on, or you go out in Mars somewhere.
No, it's just that you don't like the answers that I give.
No, you
because
don't
they
give an
agree
answer.
with
What
what
you
you
do is
said.
you try to do, every time you get caught up, you try to switch the topic.
No, you just
Like y'all was talking
sometimes it's
about
not
something. You were talking about Kennedy, and you somehow got them on talking about who was a COINTELPRO and all. I'm like, man, they didn't let him change the topic
COINTELPRO did
before
not even
I
come
get
out
an
of my mouth tonight.
opportunity. Before I get an opportunity to go on there, because that's what he do, because he don't want to answer the question.
COINTELPRO did not come out of my mouth tonight.
Okay, it may have not been the word COINTELPRO. It don't make a difference.
So
But you went
you're
on
lie
off.
now.
But you went on off talking about something else, and you still you're doing it again. But I remember the
He
question.
never answers.
Why you
a
love
question.
white folks so much? See, I remember the question. See, you can't get me like that.
I don't love him.
Why you love Kennedy so much?
I don't love him, but I'm rational. I'm a rational thinker.
How's that rational? How does that make you rational?
Because I don't just say, oh, well, he's white, the hell with him.
Well, you should. He said that about you.
No, he didn't.
I don't understand why we seem to want to love people
That's the
that
thing.
hate us.
We can't go around lying. Find the quote.
His actions.
Actions speak louder than words, sweetheart.
She said she said that he said.
He said it with
Actions speak louder than words.
No. She said that he said. So find the quote.
He said it with his actions.
No. She said that he said it.
He said it with his actions.
She said that
We're
he
not gonna mix
verbalized
words.
it.
You understand what I'm saying?
No,
A
I'm not.
person
No, I
has to
don't.
show
I
you
only know
they
what
care.
you
They
what you
don't
tell
have
me.
to tell you. At least let them show you they care. He didn't even show black people he cared.
Okay, you tell me what was he supposed to do to show that?
What was he supposed to do? Do you really want to go there? What was he supposed to do?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What was he supposed to do?
It's a simple question. You tell me what he was supposed to have done.
He did nothing. So what?
I
does it matter?
said you tell me what he was supposed to have done to satisfy you.
Oh Lord, let me
No. I
Hey,
want her. I want her
just
to
came
answer.
up to speak to everybody, man. I got to get up at 4 in the morning. I'm gonna listen out. I just
all
came to get up here and speak for a second. Shit, I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna listen till I fall asleep.
All right. So what
I got
would he have done? What should he have done to satisfy you?
Peace.
Yes, sir.
All right, Chad.
Peace. What was he supposed to have done to satisfy you?
Okay. Police brutality, right? It was happening, right? What did he do about that? Housing, what did he do about that?
Right. Like, how about
No. Let's let her stay on it. Let her stay
What,
on it.
no, what did he
You
do?
don't want me to answer it.
What did he do about it?
My bad. I was
Housing.
mute too, Bakari. But shouts out to you, Bakari.
Police
My bad.
brutality, what did he do about it?
He did things about it, but that's
What
a
did he do
local.
about
That's
them
a,
hanging black folk? They was hanging black folk
that's
like
a
crazy.
local. That's a local issue, not a national.
Well, one
Hold
thing
on.
that became an international thing was the
Dude, are you
Birmingham
serious?
riot. Why we wanted him to arrest somebody for blowing up the church, killing 4 little black girls. That's one thing.
Exactly. What did he do about that? What did he do about that? What did he do about integration when that little black girl was trying to go into school? What did he do about any of it? Any of it?
You're asking questions, but I'm asking you, what should he have done to satisfy you?
What did he do about it?
To make sure
That's
that
not. That's not. No, I want her to answer.
What did he do about it?
You're asking me questions. I'm asking you.
You
What
don't ever
should he
answer.
have
I'm
done?
gonna
Yeah,
be
because
just like you
I
never
asked
answer
you a
questions.
question. No, you just don't have the answers. That's why you don't want to answer.
I got one answer.
No, it's supposed to be
One
her.
answer.
It's all about.
I got one answer. You said what could he have done? I got one answer. I want to know why, since you talk about this Constitution, all these things, why did he not make good on the one promise they claimed they was going to give black people that we still talking about today? Where's the friggin' 40 acres and the one single daggone mule?
Did somebody present
He
that?
could have
to
done
him?
that.
Did
He
somebody
could have
present?
made a way to give it to them then.
Did somebody present? Did somebody present that to him?
Yeah, a lot of
Do we have
people-
to present to him the Constitution? We didn't have to present to him any of the bylaws of the president.
when you're
He
the
knew what
president,
they
you have to
promised.
follow that. I mean, come on.
All right, so hardcore. So Jackie Robinson and because Jackie Robinson was on this
40
next
acres
too.
and a mule. That's not a part of the Constitution, either, by the way.
Doesn't have to be, but he knew about it. That's what I'm saying. Everybody knew about it.
No, so stop going for his because he just be reaching. What does it say about black people in the Constitution then, Alquan, since he wanted to uphold the Constitution? What does it say about black people in the Constitution?
All men are created equal.
So it say black people created all men
We
that's
supposed to
created
get the
equal.
same
That's
thing
what it
white
say?
folk get. That's what it
Lord have
says.
mercy.
Period.
That's what I thought.
But
See,
you
that's
see
all
what
you
I'm
gotta
saying?
ask is
So
simple
when you
questions. No, I don't.
when you ask extremist questions, then they can't answer because
Dude,
now they
who's an
start thinking.
extremist? You ain't answered not one question on
Because
here.
now
Right.
now they start thinking, man.
No, time out.
what-
Watch this, y'all. Ask me. I'm gonna let you go ahead and ask me questions.
Nah,
Now,
nah, it
because
was
you don't want to
for-
ask me. You don't
Nah,
want to
it's
ask me, do you?
Nah, it's not for you. It's for Cassina. I
That's for
want her.
whoever want to answer it. It's not. You don't answer any questions. Why should we answer?
I
any of yours?
answered every damn thing.
You ain't answered nothing.
yes,
You go
I
skip
did.
around. this-
No, I
skip
don't.
around
It's
Okay,
just that
answer
black people have a short attention span. They used to yes or no.
Okay,
Yeah,
answer.
I like
okay.
to
You're
get
not
an
black.
explanation.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Tell
answer
what
this
you know.
question. So answer this question: is JFK a hero
Hero to what?
Sure, he is to him.
to you?
I mean, I wasn't around during that time, so
So no, he's not a hero to you.
I'm saying I never gave it any thought.
Oh, so he was a hero to black people during that time.
To a lot of black people, yes, he was.
Okay, and it was warranted.
It must have been if he was a hero to them.
Well, a lot of black people praised Clinton. Was that warranted?
To a lot of them, it was.
And it must have been because they praised him, right? Or was that crazy?
Hey, some would say
Come
it's
on, man.
crazy.
That's what I'm
Others-
saying.
I'm just saying you asking me a blanket question for every scenario. I just can't give you the answer.
I know there's a lot of answers you can't give me, but anyway, man, we didn't.
He can never answer a question.
Because even Jackie Robinson, who was about integration, called him out for not doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I go
Jackie
through-
Robinson was an Uncle Tom House nigga.
Oh, see,
What?
You should know
You got
that.
passion right now.
And he
And
was
meanwhile,
and his
oh
Uncle
my
Tom-
goodness.
And his Uncle Tom called out a white dude. That's how bad Kennedy was. Because
Well, he was-
Tom
he was-
called him out.
That's because
How
he was
about
a
that?
Democrat.
You really bad when Uncle Tom or Uncle Ruckus call you out.
Right? Was it? Was,
Jackie Robinson was a conservative.
I see. I see.
So people got quiet now because they're like, oh, okay, yeah.
No.
We just tired of wasting our
No,
time.
I think
Right.
exhausted.
It makes it,
I'm
yeah,
confused, tired now.
right? Because you see how easily you can say he was an Uncle Tom, he was this and that. When I ask you,
Yep.
well, it's complicated. Though. Many people felt different ways, and you got to start turning into philosophy. But then when it comes
But that's
to a
different when
black
you
person,
have. I can't answer for everybody if he was a hero. for
Forecast. Have
everybody
you
else.
noticed anybody black that you bring up? He jumped on them hard. But
Hard.
let you to bring up
Like a
the
pit bull.
JFK. Oh
No,
my
that's 'cause-
God,
no, that's
he is
because-
glued to his behind.
Well, I mean,
But
whatever
let him
you
be
say.
black. Please.
Obama, people say Obama is black, and he's a no good scoundrel.
why would you
And
say
just
that?
like I said,
Why would you
about
say that?
somebody, dude, you just anybody black, you gonna be
Kennedy
on.
was a no good scoundrel. How about that?
Reagan was a no good scoundrel.
I
Bush-
agree. Kennedy was a no good scoundrel, though.
But no, I disagree. But Bush won. He was the most sinister president we ever had. People don't know. A lot of people don't know the background on that guy. I didn't for the longest time.
So all
Sinister.
presidents are
All of them
sinister,
were.
bro.
Nixon, Reagan, they was the one that
Nah,
put
but
drugs
see,
in your neighborhood. What are you talking about?
But Nixon was a puppet
How
of the Bush.
sinister is that?
Listen, Nixon was a puppet of the Bush family. He was their puppet. A lot of people don't know these things. They don't know the
Dude.
background.
Dude,
All right, y'all. Because all right,
I'm
you
going
know.
to bed.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
And
It's crazy
He's
talking. I feel like I'm
exhausted.
trying to
Yeah,
convince a
he's
child not to
exhausted.
play with doo-doo. This is no. No.
But see, this is the thing. Black people have a lot of short attention span,
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
patience. You got to
Yeah.
get into the detail of things. And
You should. I know you should get to the detail and like, yo,
He
come
really
from a black
does.
perspective and not just look at JFK in the
Yeah,
vacuum.
but you didn't ask me the question
History
from a
comes-
black perspective. You asked me from my other people's perspective.
Well, for
I didn't
white
ask you what
person
nobody
perspective,
else's
that's
perspective.
what
I
we
asked you for your perspective. Are you black?
Stands for white or
Of
black
course.
How can you
So
answer
it
for
was-
anybody
yeah,
but you?
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. I asked you for your perspective.
No, but he
the
asked
whole
me.
time.
He asked me if black people back then felt that Kennedy was a hero. I don't.
Well,
know.
we're assuming that you have the pulse on black people and we're assuming you're black. I'm questioning all of that at this point.
Yeah,
I
but-
just don't understand how you have the opinion you have about Kennedy, but everybody else, you got serious reasons and energy as to if they're black, as to why they're terrible.
Well, I told
There's
you
been
ear-
no presidents that have gotten results for us as black
but
people.
I
I
told
say
you-
that as a black woman.
I told you earlier, it's because I too was once brainwashed on the Kennedys to go against them until I actually.
I
did
was
the
never
research.
brainwashed to go against them. My family had the daggone picture. There, I said it. They had the picture, Jesus and JFK. But meanwhile, I know better.
In the
I know better now. You going in reverse.
No, I'm not. I'm going.
Yeah, you are.
Learning the truth. See, I don't listen to people like Tariq Nasheed who talk.
I don't either.
We showed Malcolm X. What are you talking about, Tariq Nasheed? I showed James Meredith, who actually held things for Black people, who did things. I didn't show Tariq Nasheed.
No, I'm saying people, because a lot of people take from that guy, and he's an Uncle Tom house nigga and a traitor.
Why
you stole your wife? Why you so mad at him?
Because he has a white family in his house.
JFK got a white family in his house, and you know JFK.
JFK had a whole white family.
What are you talking
about? A whole white family.
We know that. But
And a white mistress.
Tariq Nasheed.
Did you know that?
But Tariq Nasheed.
JFK.
Yeah, but Tariq Nasheed is talking about white supremacy. We got to stop it.
Oh, Lord.
But he's
was JFK talking about white supremacy and we got to stop it?
Actually, technically, he was. When he's
so it's the same thing, right? So he got a white family in his house.
See what I mean? Now we're making excuses now. See what I mean?
No, you are making excuses. You literally talking about a Black person when we're talking about Black people, the white people, and why we love them so much. And how is Tariq Nasheed influencing Malcolm X for telling people not to, that he's a trickster?
I didn't say that.
So how is he influencing James Meredith? Because you said it's the Black people that got brainwashed. That's why we don't. These people was living with them. How they get brainwashed?
Let's put it like this. Let's say James Meredith asked JFK for a specific thing to be done, and JFK said, "You know what? I got you," and he does it. Do you think that James Meredith would have been saying JFK was no good? Instead, he would have been saying, "Yeah, JFK, he was a sweet guy because he gave me what I asked for." Now,
so what did he do for you to be up his butt?
But listen, anybody in your personal lives, you ask them for some money, ask them for a ride, and they say, "Nah, man, I ain't got time for that." You gotta say, "Man, fuck you. I don't like this guy. This guy or girl is full of shit." But if they give you everything, you know, say, "Oh, that's the sweetest person in the world."
Well, he's saying like forget JFK. So apparently he didn't care about him, right? Like
no. See, you look at it like that. He didn't care about him.
He just said it himself, bro.
I'm saying maybe it's because he didn't get what he wanted from him, whatever that was.
Protection. How about like to be able to go?
He got protection.
He did not, bro. Did you know that was the point, bro? He was not getting the protection, which is why he was getting called out and people saying he wasn't doing enough. And they was calling him out for what happened in Birmingham because he wasn't doing anything to protect white people. With James Meredith, they pulled out the troops because they didn't want to offend white people, bro. Like that's what he was doing. Like, see, did you study that part of him, or did you only look at the?
You got to understand. You got to play things close when things can lead to a volatile situation as president. You don't want things getting out of hand. They were already crazy as hell in the 60s as it was, especially with Russia and all that kind of stuff. You don't need any more craziness going on.
We don't need these damn Negroes trying not to get killed in the street no more. So we can wait on that one. But, I mean, I'm surprised. Did you vote for Joe Biden? Because he literally did the same thing as JFK did. And you sitting here taping for him.
He sounded just like him, didn't he?
He did. He sounded just like him.
Yeah. All right.
Dude, you're done. We're done.
Yeah.
We are on to you. You can take the mask off now.
They take it totally off. It don't make no sense to even try anymore.
You're done.
Okay. But see, you gotta understand, we can't, just because we disagree with people on all points doesn't mean that we have to be disagreeable.
Well, and that's the crazy thing, because you do that to Pan-Africans, and now all of a sudden it's because we don't have to be aren't you disagreeable with, because you keep bringing up Jamaicans and stuff like that? Isn't that you being disagreeable going against what you just said just now?
Not really. Like with the rifleman, I was bringing up the fact that he was Jamaican because he kept saying we went through this and that, and we should get reparations.
So what's the difference?
So
tell me about it. Right?
He's not a part of the we.
But they are.
And you're not either.
I don't think you're a part of the we.
Okay, you can't be. You're not a part of the we either, honey.
I think, and listen, y'all, I think they both are, because they were as part of the same experience, and they got the same love for. I ain't expected, because Alquan wouldn't come on to say to take up for the dude saying there's a war on white people, but it's the same difference when you take up for the white liberals. You know what I'm saying?
See, you keep saying I'm taking it for white liberals. I'm only talking JFK. I don't care about nobody else.
And JFK included.
Why?
That must be your daddy or uncle or something.
Wait a minute. Are you exactly? Are you his secret love child? What's going on?
Golly, this dude is
what's going on?
I don't know. Maybe I'll say this. Maybe you guys need to research him some more and then everything that the conservatives told you about him, you'll find
We've
out that
researched him.
No one told us anything about him. We
okay,
could
here,
see same way you did. That's why we confused.
I know you didn't research. Just like Rifleman talked about Chappaquiddick with Ted Kennedy. That's the first thing he talked about.
But what did Obama say negative about black people?
Shit, he didn't say nothing positive.
Lord have mercy. Haven't we just been saying JFK haven't said nothing positive?
But Obama, when people asked him directly, they asked him what he was going to do for black people. He said, "We got to pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps and stop asking for things." That's what he said.
And that's what Biden's saying the same thing.
Oh,
He was his buddy.
see how they defending him?
Who?
That might as well be the presidential mantra. I'm trying to understand why you love JFK so much.
Because JFK, what did JFK say when he was asked directly, what are you going to do about the Birmingham riots? And why aren't you sending troops to help the black people down there? What did he say?
I don't know, but I know he
I don't know.
You don't know?
You listen to all these recordings and don't know what he said?
I know he sent troops. I know he sent troops in Little Rock. I know that.
You don't know?
Little Rock?
Okay.
Yep.
Y'all wonderful. You know, Sidra, wonderful. Forecast, awesome. It's been interesting, Alguan. I have to go to sleep and have good sleep. This is crazy. All right, have a good night.
I'm out too.
All right, Shanique.
Forecast, have a good one.
right.
I don't know what to tell you, honey.
See, the good thing about me, I'm not easily swayed by emotion.
Have a good night.
Swayed by emotion and peer pressure.
Have a good night, y'all.
All right, peace, Cassandra. And peace, Shanique. What did you say, Alquan?
I said I'm not swayed by emotion and peer pressure. That doesn't work with me.
It's not about emotion and peer pressure, bro. It's just about like common sense. Like it's no different, bro. Like you can see with Obama, right? That he didn't say anything negative. You know what I'm saying? But also, you know, like the same thing with Jeff. But you can see it with Obama, but you can't see it with JFK. Like, you know.
No, because Obama, number one, was during my time, and Obama should have had a responsibility.
But even if he's not in your time, how could you know that he's a good white person then?
See, those are your words. I didn't say nothing about that.
How could you know he's the best president?
I didn't say that either.
You did say that. You literally said he's the best. You asked questions about him being the best president. Like everything.
No, I said he was the best president for black people.
Eisenhower sent troops to Little Rock, not JFK. Oh boy.
That
must make Eisenhower a great president, better than JFK, because he sent troops to Little Rock, right? Man, all right, peace, Raw. Because I ain't even get to the last person, man. But yeah, go ahead, Alquan.
I'm about to jump off too, but I'm just saying black people got to stop being so emotional. That's why black people can never win debates with white people, because when they sense that they're losing, they get loud, they overtalk, and they don't come with substance. And you just got to stop the emotion and just get to the real deal.
Alquan,
you got to keep an open mind on things.
You lost a debate to a white boy. Well, you wasn't debating, but you did let him come on there. But he didn't beat me.
But that white guy, come on, he didn't do nothing.
He caused division on your channel.
No, really.
Had y'all arguing, and y'all tried to use him against other black people at the time.
Nah.
And he didn't beat me in the debate. I dare white people to come on. It was supposed to be a white boy that come on here today talking about critical race theory, you know what I'm saying? But he was scared to come on here.
I hear you, man, because I invited a few of mine. They want to argue in the comment sections, and I say, hey, let's go live with it.
Right. But they don't do that, though. They don't come on here.
Yeah, they get scared. They say, oh, you're wrong. I said, well, present it to the people. If I'm wrong, I'll be embarrassed.
Right. I'm like, you could prove me wrong in front of everybody, you know what I'm saying? But you don't. Just like I was showing you about JFK, you done made every excuse. You done went to, I didn't the Africans sell other Africans during slave trade? You might as well have said that, my brother, you know.
But I'm going to compile the list, because I get tired of having to rack my brain with the list.
So. It should be easy. If you ask me a question about somebody, I could be like, well, yeah, this person did A, B, C, D. You know what I'm saying?
And on top of that, I'm going to compile a list of his predecessor and successor, just for reference points.
And you might realize that there's no difference between any of them.
I'll tell you what. if I happen to realize that, then I'll admit it.
Right. And there are politicians who want to get elected, you know what I'm saying? So they're going to say and do, because it was politicians in the 1800s, right? That was supposed to be, well, it was Republican at that time that did the same thing that people say with JFK, and they thought they was good white people, but they was not.
But see, the difference between JFK and these others, and Lincoln for that matter, is they got shot. That's the difference.
They got shot?
Yeah. So that means whatever they did to help us out, the other people didn't like it.
That's what I'm saying. That's why that's why I said at the beginning, you might well be saying Lincoln was the best president, because it's the same story. It's no different.
So are you saying that Lincoln
didn't give a damn about us, just like JFK?
Well, I mean, in any way though.
Huh?
He didn't give a damn in any way?
No, he cared about, no, he didn't give a damn about black. Well, in a way that, you know what I'm saying, he wanted it to be a white nation and stuff like that.
Do you think he was just saying that to appease the segregationists? Well, not the segregationists, the racists.
Yeah, just like he was telling you what you believe. What are you talking about? JFK?
Lincoln.
Was he saying what to appease them?
You know, about sending us to Africa, there can never be equality and all that kind of stuff.
I don't know. I think he believed it, but I don't think, because they was against him when they were saying, because they wasn't trying to release slaves, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think he was saying it for their favor, because they was trying to keep slavery.
Right. So why would he free the slaves then?
Just
if he didn't care just a little bit.
He didn't. Just like they try to be like Thomas Jefferson was an abolitionist, because he talked about sending black people, like freeing the slaves and sending them to to Africa. You know what I'm saying? That's why they try to call him an abolitionist, but it wasn't because they wanted a white nation. He still was like, yo, black people is inferior, and as long as they're here, you know what I'm saying, we never gonna be able to do what we have to do because they're inferior. You know what I'm saying? That's what.
Do you think he was speaking to white people, just trying to appease them by saying that kind of stuff?
No, because that's what the thought it was. Like, it was literally slavery.
But why would he free the slaves then?
Why would he do that?
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't initially trying to free the slaves. They was trying to tax slave owners, because they was making so much money in the South. They was trying to tax the South, not free the slaves. They didn't want to free the slaves. The North needed the money from the South to do the industrial thing. You know what I'm saying? And they wasn't trying to free them. So no, like.
But again, see, he said everything. He said they ship them back to Africa. They're not going to be equal ever.
Mm-hmm.
If he was a racist or didn't care about them, he would have just kept them in bondage.
But don't you know about when he said, "Oh, if I can free the slaves, I would. If I wouldn't, then I would. Whatever saved the Union." You know about that statement?
Okay.
Like, yeah, he had nothing. But once they, like, you know what I'm saying, they was going at him politically. You know what I'm saying? Because once the South was like, they left the Union, so now he fucking issued a statement or whatever, they did the Emancipation Proclamation, which didn't free nobody, you know what I'm saying, because the territories that was under his command, you know what I'm saying, he pardoned them, like Kentucky and all those whatever states, he didn't allow them to do that. And they was talking about the reparations earlier for slave owners. Yeah, they offered it for people in Washington, D.C., but nobody wanted to release their slaves, you know what I'm saying? And they did give people in like North Carolina and people in the South reparations later on, you know what I'm saying, after 1865, but he was already dead by then. But that's another thing. But what did you ask me about, though, before I go on the long tangent?
No, I was just saying, sounded like he cared a little bit.
No. He wanted to make money. They wanted to raise taxes on the South, which led the South to leaving the Union. Right. And it was Lincoln's goal to keep the Union together no matter what, you know what I'm saying? And I just, you know what I'm saying, whatever, they like, yo, we're going to free, like, quote unquote, free the slaves, because he took a playbook out of George Washington playbook. George Washington said the same thing. And you know what the first thing he did after they beat the British? He was like, he passed the Fugitive Slave Act. You know what I'm saying? They did the same thing.
All right, man. I guess, you know, it's kind of rough. I guess some people just blanket everybody, and you got to understand sometimes people are in a hard predicament when you're trying to go against the grain.
I see.
But you see, when they JFK and Lincoln, they went against the grain.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you one more
but
thing.
they-
One more
and they-
thing.
and they got killed.
One more thing, right? Yo, you know, like when Confederate or Union soldiers was freeing slaves in the South, he told them not to do that because he didn't want slave owners who could be an allegiance to the Union to stay on the side. So he told them stop freeing the slaves and to put them back in slavery. You know, he did that, Lincoln.
Okay.
Right. So he cared about them or no?
No, I said, well, you got to care a little bit about them, or else you would just say, hey, who gives a damn? Get to work.
Bro, why would you say that if you're not profiting off of it?
Like
Well,
I said, you know, obviously slaves didn't have any power, but he obviously wanted to free them, or else he wouldn't have done it. But he had to appease his people at the same time, hoping to avoid getting killed, which obviously he got killed.
So I am right. You would have been in 1850. Lincoln is a great man. We needs to be supporting this white man.
Yeah, you would have been saying it too.
Yeah, right. No, I would not have been. I would have been looking at.
You would have been saying, hell with you, Lincoln. I want to remain a slave.
Just like I didn't. No, he wasn't trying to free the slaves. Didn't you hear what I just said? He wasn't trying to free the slaves.
Did he do it though?
No, he did not. No, he did not. How many people did he free? Tell me right now. How many people? How many people did the Emancipation Proclamation free? And why didn't it free nobody? Because that's a bigger question. Because he could have told people like in Washington, D.C. to free their damn slaves, but he did not because he didn't want to lose them. So even in the states that wasn't seceding, he did not free nobody. What are you talking about?
So if Lincoln didn't do it, then who did?
After 1865? Well, actually, if you look at it, nobody actually did because then they started coming back with the they used Union soldiers to I mean, dude, like, don't you know about like the Devil's Punch Bowl and all of this stuff through history? We're gonna go through the whole history course, but don't you know about all this stuff from the Union soldiers?
Okay, so you're saying it didn't have nothing to do with Lincoln, it just happened, even though people really didn't want it to happen.
No, it didn't. They ended up putting them into sharecropping. They literally was locking them up for being poor, like which was peonage, you know what I'm saying? Which Truman ended, you know what I'm saying, during World War, I think it was Truman, whatever in the 40s, whatever president in the 40s. He started charging for peonage, which they locked black people up for owing debt, you know what I'm saying? And then the longer they stayed up, the longer they was locked up. And then they often, during that time of sharecropping, they gave their previous slave owner the option to keep them. Like if you look all this up, you know what I'm saying? And it was Otis Howard, who was in charge of the Freedmen's Bureau, who was the one going around getting black people to sign these contracts.
Hey, I gotta hit this bathroom.
All right,
let this guy go.
Don't go yet, Alquan. Don't go.
He gonna run.
Nah, I don't have no beef with Alquan. Alquan is he's a good dude. He make me laugh a whole lot. He's a good dude, man. But what's up? Forecast? What's today's mathematics, my friend?
Man, peace and knowledge, God.
I love it.
Oh,
hey, what's up, Alquan? What's up, Alquan? He left?
Yeah, I think he about to leave. He didn't done he didn't done his white boy caping for the day.
That's cool, man. That's cool. I wasn't even gonna go at him. I was just gonna ask him one question, but it's all right. I wasn't even gonna have a go at him.
No, that's the question.
I just wanted to know what his thing is with Caribbean people, because he seems like he always having to go at Caribbean people. I'm like, what do we do? Yeah, what do we do there? But
well, they're not Irish or Italian, so
maybe. Hey, Forecast, I just wanted to let you know that I think that you're doing a great job with them lectures, man. I don't know how you put that stuff together, but I just think that you're doing an excellent job, brother. I needed to tell you that.
Hey, Bwana, not to cut you off, but you know that they come on the slave ship show. You know what I'm saying? I was promoting that for a while.
Nah, they'll never do it. Nah, they don't want that kind of smoke. I tell them, Forecast is an actual real alive Black American freaking historian. You don't want to get into the ring with him when it comes to that kind of information because he eat you alive. But they don't want to listen. But it's all good though. I know you're getting ready to go right now, so I'm not gonna keep you up.
No, Bwana, yo, they've kept me up for a long time because this was actually about, and they proved my point. Love thy enemies, because certainly they made cases. A brother came on here making a case for some super racist white boy. You know what I'm saying? He came on here with JFK. Yo, you saw the Marxist thing earlier, you too, and
Yeah,
I wanted Bobby to see that Marxist thing. Black people sure do love some Marxists, don't they?
I don't know why. I don't know why. I really don't understand that because they just wanna. Hey, man. I live in a society where you have brothers who just be chilling at the liquor store, sitting in front of the liquor store, not doing shit all day. I'm like, man, how am I supposed to share my food with these guys who don't work every day and I busting my ass? I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair. But maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me. But I can't just share my resources to someone who don't want to do anything. And it's not to say that the people who talking about socialism ain't doing anything, but I can't fairly share my food with people who don't want to do shit all day. Oh man, the hell with that. I don't believe in that shit. I believe that you should get up and try to see what you could do as far as working and providing and doing things for your family. And if you can't do nothing, you must either be disabled, too old, or too young. But if you're a working man, I don't know, you could even wash cars, I don't know, cut the grass or some shit like that. But just not doing nothing and expect to get the same kind of compensation that I do, fuck that. I don't believe in that, man. I don't believe in that.
Yeah, that's why I was like, we can have this whole conversation. Cause I believe there should be socialist program, like, and not to even get into European terminologies and all of this stuff. Like, we speak English, you know what I'm saying? There are systems that predate Marxism, which is crazy that we would take a European and then argue that it's not Eurocentric, and then defend the white boy who constantly says that we are N-words, you know what I'm saying? But we seen white boy defending all night,
Yeah, true. You know what it is. But I appreciate the sisters. The sisters that had a strong point of view. They was representing, and they was beating up on everyone. They was beating up on everyone tonight. Some of the things I didn't really agree with, but I understand where they coming from because everyone have their own version of what they perceive. But it's just some of the things I can't get with, man. I think that brothers need to work, and do what they need to do. As far as getting out there from 5 o'clock in the morning, if need be, and trying to earn your living. You just can't be chilling on the corner doing shit all day and expect me to. Nah, man. I don't agree with that. Not at all.
Yeah. Yo, Alcorn came back if you wanted to ask him a question. Because I gotta.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. If you want to ask him a question, I think he can. Are you back, Alcorn? No, I guess not.
Yeah.
Alcorn. Man, why you be going out on Caribbean folks, like, man? I mean, what we do to you? That's a question I had for you, man. What we do to you, bro?
Oh no, it's when they start acting like they're us and talking that we stuff or we experience there.
You mean in America?
Yeah.
Oh, I got it. I understand that. Yeah.
I mean, because imagine going to China as an immigrant. And then you start talking about, oh man, what we had to go through in our history against the Japanese, they did us wrong.
Yeah,
people be looking at you like, man, what are you talking about?
Yes. I understand that. I understand that. If you have, as far as your generation goes, if you have blood in the soil, I believe that you have more of a right than someone who just get to the country. So I could understand where you're coming from with that. Even though me and you may be black. The fact that my family been, working the land and going through all manner of different kinds of things, I believe that I should have more rights than you in my country. It's just what it is. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I understand the argument. I really do. And anyone who tried to come in and try to undermine that experience, I would have issues with them too. So I understand that.
Including the Irish and Italians.
Including that, and that's another thing. When I hear the argument, it seemed like it's directed towards black folks. But Mexicans, you have Italians, you have Polish, you have all kind of other people coming in the country, and they look at y'all crazy as well. So I don't hear them arguments with those people.
Because those people are agents of Tariq Nasheed. I don't want to say any names, but you can guess because they use the same lingo, talk about the same exact topic, and they don't put Tariq Nasheed down. But the Mexicans, I tell people, you see everywhere these people being placed everywhere.
Yeah,
somebody's got to go.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Hey y'all, so look, yo, I'm not because I don't know. I hope Buwana got to say. I don't know because Alquan don't really have an opinion about this last thing about the Princess Diana chick. You know what I'm saying? Because this was black people, the people they love. I did too much studying just to not do this part. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta be quick. I know Alcar gotta go though, but you can stay on if you want. But you know, if you want to go or you can stay on, it's up to you.
I'll listen to the next segment, but I'm about to be out in a minute though.
All right, yeah. Because I got my computer shut down when I got kicked off, and it messed up the whole thing. But I was gonna show because Buwana, you know what I'm saying, your Princess Diana, you love her?
Princess Di?
Yeah.
Nah, man, I don't love princess. I don't like the queen of it all, man. That's not my thing. No.
All right, so yo, this got messed up, and I missed out on some stuff. So this is straight messed up. But check this out, right? So their visit to Jamaica, because you keep bitching in Jamaica anyway. So their visit stirs demands for slave reparations. Oh yeah, let me say this, yo. Princess Diana was the hardest one. JFK was easy. Karl Marx was easy. You know what I'm saying? She was the hardest one so far, and she got smoked at a young age. But you know, and her boyfriend was not a black dude. Why people say that dude was a black dude? He was just not white.
Yeah, you can't see his hair though. You know
what? That dude was not a black dude, bro.
And he was from Egypt. Oh, I mean mixed, but you know, some people are extremists. They don't consider mixed people.
No, they call them sign N words. That's what they call it.
Maybe.
And they got to do that for a reason because they ain't gonna call a white looking person a saying it.
So y'all go by the one drop rule, pretty much is what y'all saying.
Well, apparently the white man does. I mean, they got to be rules somewhere. I mean, come on.
Yeah, the white man does. I said y'all go by the one drop rule, huh?
Now,
I don't think they black.
Play this video. Play this video.
Okay.
Apologies now, reparations now. Apologies now, reparations now. Apologies now, reparations now. Apologies now. And reparations.
It's an insult to us for these young people to be here to try to persuade us to keep the status quo in place when our goal is to loosen and remove the gloved hands of the Queen from around our necks so that we can breathe.
Respect us, man. Apologize now.
Sending a shout out to the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge and the entire royal family that reparation time come now.
We are rebel. This is living hell. Oh, Madam Queen, help an I to break these perilous spells. Send Lucifer back to hell. Chain him as well. Compensate and repatriate I to Africa as well. And all will be well. Oh, Madam Queen. Oh, Madam Queen. Oh, Madam Queen. Let your royal visit be to liberate I of these Babylonian spells. Thanks in advance as well. What does it do?
So yo, they talking about reparations over there after y'all queen died. You know what I'm saying?
So they always biting our style.
It is biting.
I mean, they weren't even talking about reparations. Some of them talking about their Arawaks. So if they're Arawaks, then that means there's no reparations needed. This is your country.
No, they got slaughtered. The people got slaughtered by the people who came. That's why they would get reparations.
But I'm saying a lot of Jamaicans now, they claim to be Arawaks.
Really?
Yeah, just like black people claim to be Indians. Like, yo, because the people got slaughtered, they deserve reparations. It still don't matter.
They copy what we do. That's why.
You think we copy what Americans do?
Yeah, they need to do their own thing, man.
People been talking about reparations in the Caribbean forever, brother.
Okay, but why now? All this demand now? Why they call themselves Arawaks now when it was always African?
You think, well, you see now, you taking a small portion of Jamaican, you calling themselves Arawak, you blowing it up to every Jamaican. And you know full well all Jamaicans don't consider themselves as Arawak. Kind of fair conversation. But what I would say is, I think this might be a controversial statement, especially to this panel. I really don't believe in reparations. You know, I don't think, and I can tell you why I say that. Because I personally don't think the people who would have put us in the situation we're in right now, they do not have the capacity to give us reparations. And what I mean by that is, during all what happened, the African man lose his mind. You know what I mean? He loses culture, he loses all these things, he loses language. I don't think the Queen have the ability to replace that. I really don't. And what about a rape? All the rape and murder and things like that. So you mean to tell me this government gonna replace the people who they murder and maim and slaughter? And what about the rape? If I rape a woman and I give her $1 million, is she repaired? You know, so in my head, I don't think that they have the ability to do that. Now, as far as money, I understand what the American brothers when they talk about competency, because certain financial things, their ability to compete financially, that's their argument, and I hear that. But for me personally, I don't think that they have the ability to repair the black man. I think that's something that he has to do for himself. Fortunately, I think it's a fortunate thing. But the Queen will have the ability to repair my African mind. Only me must have the ability to do that. As far as my ego and my own head, you know.
Now in Bwana, you know, Marcus Garvey said, right? You go back to the Irishman or you go back to the Englishman and you take back your land and what is yours and what is owed to you. You know, Marcus Garvey said that, right?
I don't agree with everything Garvey said.
Okay, fair enough.
Nah, Mr. Garvey is my president. My president, he's a man. So I don't agree with everything he say, but a lot of the things that he say I agree with, but not everything. You know,
Yo, number one, I gotta say this because everybody else would have made excuses. I gotta say, yo, that was like, yo, the best answer, you know what I'm saying, that I've heard for a while. Because
you think so?
Yo, people deflect just to prove a point instead of saying, yo, I just don't agree with everything. Yo, I appreciate that answer.
Nah, he's a man. He's a man, just like Clarence 13X and all them other brothers. They men. So, you know, they have opinions just like I have opinions and you have opinions. So not everything he said I have to agree with. So I don't agree with that when he say that.
Yo, fair enough. I respect that.
Yeah.
Yo, now yo, Harko, if you still there, yo, Bobby was like, you know, that dude is a Egyptian, you know, Arab, you know what I'm saying? He's not black, bro. I don't think he's black. He probably gone, but
yeah, Forecast going to bed, man. Not Forecast, I'll go on.
Yeah.
Probably going to bed, man. But I ain't gonna keep you all up, man. I appreciate the show, Forecast. You know you always do good work, man. Always do good work. So keep it up, man.
All right, man. I appreciate it, man. The rest of it got confused, so I'm gonna finish this last part. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, I appreciate it if you got to go. You can stay on if you want, because this is about Princess Diana, but it get complicated.
No, go ahead. Get out. I'll rock with you to the end.
Yo, because it go into your girl Meghan Markle. I ain't gonna be long on this part. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it got messed up anyway. So
go ahead.
All right. So the quiet. So this is the black people defending. You know what I'm saying? Prince Charles, because you will notice. You know what I'm saying? She ain't racist, but she married a racist dude into a family and all of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And Prince Charles. You know what I'm saying? That's her husband, right? You know, do you think he's racist, right?
Who this man right there?
No, Prince Charles, not Harry.
Of course. They hate our guts.
Yeah,
they hate our guts.
But she married into this family, though, you know. But listen to the black people that defend Prince Charles.
Prince Charles against charges of racism. The choir's conductor, Karen Gibson, says Charles personally invited them to perform. She says she has a hard time believing Prince Charles is racist.
We must discover the power of love.
But Michael Curry, the Chicago-born bishop who gave the sermon at the wedding, is also speaking out. He has another point of view.
An interview between the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and Oprah Winfrey once again has torn asunder a scab and exposed the depth of the wounds of racism.
Meanwhile, the Queen is expected to FaceTime with Meghan and Harry within days.
She wants to have a very personal and intimate conversation with him in order to get to the bottom of the two brothers' relationship.
Thing Meghan said. Sharon Osbourne is apologizing for defending Morgan on the talk.
Don't try and cry, because if anyone should be crying, it should be me. Tell me when you have heard him say racist things.
She posted to anyone.
That sound like Alquan. Tell me when you heard JFK say anything racist. When he said the
Well, I
N-word.
mean, hey, but see, their actions are different than JFK's, and there's evidence that they may have had a hand in taking him out too.
Who, Prince Charles?
The British.
No, Prince Charles is the king right now.
No, but I'm saying the British.
Taking who out?
JFK.
Oh, I don't know, but
You see this white lady right here?
Uh-huh.
Now, this white lady, who's a British woman, right? I think her husband is Ozzy Osbourne, something like that, right?
Mhm.
Now, she defending Prince Charles, saying that he ain't racist, right? And the woman, the black woman on her part, the black American woman, sitting there trying to cry, trying to, I don't know if she playing the victim, but she basically chastising her. She's like, I'm supposed to be crying. Now, Prince Charles' family, right, have millions and millions. As a matter of fact, the Queen had a Jew. I think she had a jewel of Africa. I forget what you call it now. From the Congo, one of the largest.
That big jewel.
One of the largest ever found. Now, if he ain't a racist and all things is equal, wouldn't he return the property that his ancestors took away from those people? All our wealth, wouldn't he return it?
Why didn't Princess Diana return it?
I would. There are two, all of them. So when these people come with these big asshole arguments, saying, "Oh, these people ain't racist," okay, no problem. They won't be fair. Just return all that shit. The crown she's wearing and the jewels like that country, the Congo, they could use some of that money, that diamond money that's in that crown. Return all them items if he won't be racist. See, it's a thing to not take part in the crime, but it's another thing to take the benefits of that crime, you know what I mean, and to continue to keep it. When you continue to keep it, you along with the criminal who commit the first act itself. You might not break into the man's house, but for you to use the man TV every day, you just as big as a criminal as the man who break into my house. So I these kinds of asshole arguments to me, they're offensive, and I don't really like to get into it. But I just think that's why I believe that the whole family should be in jail. They really should be in jail. I mean, if we was living in a fair society, they would be in jail a long time ago. But all things equal, it is what it is.
Right.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Alquan.
All right. Well, yeah, he keep going on and off. So let me hurry up so I can get up out of here. All right. So that's her son, Prince William, her husband, Prince Charles. This is funny kind of going on. How does this maintain itself in a society? I know she got smoked, so we didn't get to see the full aspects of, just like JFK racism got cut short. You know what I'm saying? Maybe hers did too, but
Looked like they were having a great nearly a decade, rocked by new racism allegations back home. Charity executive Ngozi Faloni, seen here at Buckingham Palace Monday, just steps away from Queen Consort Camilla, says she was questioned at the event by one of Camilla's aides, who has now stepped down, 83-year-old Lady Susan Hussey, Prince William's godmother and longtime confidant to Queen Elizabeth.
now this dude, Prince William's godmother. I don't know if parents appoint the godmothers or not, but if that's the point, that would mean that y'all Princess Diana appointed this chick as the godmother to William.
Ngozi Faloni tweeting the exchange, which reads in part, "What nationality are you? I am born here and I'm British. No, but where do you really come from? Where do your people come from?" Hussey also asking, quote, "What part of Africa are you from?" after Ngozi said she was from London. That questioning continuing for some time, she says, and on BBC Radio this morning, describing how she felt.
Then I have to really question how this can happen in a space that's supposed to protect women against all kinds of violence. So it's not, although it's not physical violence.
Paused. But this morning, Britain's...
All right, so yeah, I'm gonna skip past that. So yeah, y'all remember when old boy had the Nazi costume on? You know what I'm saying? And he's saying, "Oh, they encouraged him to do it."
Y'all on the royal attacked him during a 2019 argument about Meghan. Harry reportedly claims in Spare, out next Tuesday, that William called Meghan difficult, rude.
Yo, by the way, is this a black chick, Buwana? Or Buwana might be going too.
No, she's a white woman.
She is whatever people think she is.
She have a white daddy. She's a white woman.
We think she's white.
She's a white woman. She ain't come on no black woman.
Yes, she did.
Did she?
Yep.
Wow. She look like a white woman to me.
Yeah, we think she.
Oh, you said she didn't come out a black woman.
But you tell me yes, she did. So I guess she's a black woman.
I thought you said she didn't come out of a black woman.
No, I thought she had a white woman. Well, she's a black woman then. She's a black woman. She's a black woman.
Her daddy, so white men could give birth to black children.
No, I think that her mommy genes would have superseded her white daddy genes.
Does it look like it superseded it?
No, not at all.
She might as well be. She might as well be East Indian for.
Not at all.
Well, I mean, hey, a lot of them are mixed.
I know they are. They're not black. They're mixed. A lot of them are mixed. Thank you for saying that.
If you mix with black, then
you're mixed.
You must be black.
No, that means you must be mixed. It means you must be mixed.
Yeah, but if you mix with black, you got to be black, right?
Who would you consider to be forecast? Who would you consider her?
A mixed person. Nothing wrong with that. She's biracial.
Is that a racial classification? Mixed?
A mulatto, yes. It's literally is a term. It's like it's a biological thing. Is a thing in law. Yeah, mulatto
in America, she would be considered as black, right?
She would be, yeah. If you go by the white one drop rule, yeah, sure. But no, she would be considered as a mulatto because
ain't no mulatto in the census. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Black.
No, it is mulattoes.
Really?
Well, no, I'm talking about in the law. Like they'd be like, if you don't marry an Indian, a black mulatto, you know what I'm saying? You know, but the problem is, you know, they had those things in New Orleans where they had the mulattoes and the octoroon balls, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you had like the paper bag test where like the mulatto people, and then you know it got
that's
complicated.
That's the law in New Orleans.
Well, no, I'm saying like it was the law everywhere, but like you couldn't marry a black mulatto Indian, you know what I'm saying, such and such, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know, but I also don't go by the one drop rule, you know what I'm saying? Like I just think
I know you know. I know you don't go back, but I'm just saying that in America she would be considered a black woman. Right?
Right.
Okay.
So in the black community, she would be considered mixed.
Nah, I talking about as far as the laws of America, they would, and as far as classification and
that's why
I'm asking the question. I'm asking the question. She would be considered a black woman.
A mulatto.
But that's not a classification. They say
look up a law and see if mulatto is a classification.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Look it up. So why would they put in? Why would they put? I don't know if it's in the census. They got Indian, they got biracial, they got like Mexican.
They have biracial.
Who?
In the census, they have biracial.
No.
They got mixed. What is it? Two or more races or something like that.
Oh, so that's what you'd be considered as. She's mixed then. Okay.
Well, a lot of people would just put black though. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not discouraging your point. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people would put black.
I think she would consider herself white, even though she may not say it though.
Okay.
That's the problem. A lot of them would pick white. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying?
Because she could pass.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, I'm not saying you making a bad point, but
no, I'm asking. I just ask it. I didn't ask it.
But that's why the first question I asked y'all was if y'all go by the one drop rule or not. So I guess y'all do.
Forecast, you know where I am. It's a different kind of thinking going on. So that's why I gotta ask. Because wherever you are in the world, you can be considered it can be a lot of differences. Because in Jamaica, she just would be a highlight yellow black woman. So in America, you all would consider her as black. Some people consider her as black, and some people consider her as mixed.
But it depends on like who colonized you, like because the British treated mulattoes different from the French, for example. You know what I'm saying?
The French treated mulattoes better.
Well, suppose yeah.
Right.
Yes. And the British treated mulattoes just like the N-words, the black people.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
So like, you know, that's why I was saying like, yo, in New Orleans, you know what I'm saying? Like the French ran New Orleans is like a different kind of thing, but they used it as a buffer class, which is why I'm not against mulattoes. I'm not saying purity or nothing like that. But what I am saying is, you know what I'm saying? Like, you may want to put some kind of protections against that because it's historically been used against you. And then within the Black community, a lot of people feel like the lighter you are, the better you are. You know what I'm saying? Like we have the La Raza thing too. You know what I'm saying?
But you think all mulattoes think like that though?
No, I'm not saying all. Like, yo, I think in my opinion, there are a few in the middle. You know what I'm saying? But I think for the majority, there are a lot that would identify with either their white side or some
Yes.
with the Black side to the extreme. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
Yes,
don't tell
yes,
me I ain't Black. You know what I'm
yes,
saying?
yes,
Type thing.
yes, yes.
But you know what's funny? You look at people like Dak Prescott, who didn't really come out publicly as mixed or trying to be white until that Jerry Jones thing happened. Then somebody mentioned that he was married with children. I said, let me look up his wife. Blonde hair, blue eye, white lady. Patrick Mahomes, blonde hair, blue eye, white lady. When they marry them, they're trying to tell everybody this is how I view myself. I'm white. I want to make sure that my kids come out looking white, even though the joke will be on them.
Right.
But that's what happens. So some of them, and then you got this new thing going around, people calling themselves biracials, and they don't want to be Black, and they claim they don't want to be white, but you know they're lying. They really want to be white, but they're anti-Black.
Right. Yeah, a lot of them do want it, but that's the social structure. You know, if it was the other way around, they want to be Black. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. They're not either one. They're mixed. They're biracial. You know what I'm saying? That's the point. You know, like that's why they're unaccepted by either side. They're not Black or white. You know what I'm saying?
So they should get their own racial category then. They should just have their own racial category.
Well, they call them Latinos. They call them Arabs and Mexicans and all that type of stuff.
But the problem is a lot of these people, see, that's the thing. You never know which way that they want to think. Some of them might think, I want to be white. I should be white because I have a white parent. I shouldn't have to be held back. And then others like a Dak Prescott who really doesn't look half white. When he first came on the scene, I looked him up because I said, the hell kind of name is Dak? So then I found out it was Dakota. I said, damn, this guy must be half white because there ain't no way in hell nobody Black gonna name their son Dakota. Maybe a rifleman might name his son Dakota, but nobody of them hell Black people gonna do that. Sure enough, he was half white.
All right, so yo, the last thing. All right, so let's get out of it. And then King Charles. I don't even know where I'm at. Oh yeah, Megyn Kelly. I remember her. This white bitch.
Thanks to the American people, they went out there and started whining.
But you know, people loved it. His service 10 years in the army, and you know, actually in combat, that sort of thing. And then better right now, but when she'll sing age, they were all in love with it. He knew all.
All right, I don't even know where I'm at, so I'm gonna stop it right there because I don't know which part it was on this video. But they said something crazy. Maybe not show it next time. But yeah, I just wanted to show, you know, the Black people who love their masters, and my brother Alcorn, you know, did a pretty good job showing us, you know, how that goes. You know, defending the white people and who they love.
I didn't defend any white people.
You ain't defend JFK?
That was one man, not a group.
He's a white person.
Hey,
you just said I did not defend any white people. You therefore defended a white person, so you did defend any white person.
People is plural.
You said any though, which makes it like when you say I don't have any money, that means I don't have no money. When you say I don't have any food left, you know what I'm saying?
But if I say I don't have any cars, that's plural.
So I would assume you don't have a car.
Forecast. Right? I have a question. Question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I meet some people when I used to live in America. Some what you would consider to be white people, like Italians, and Italians will tell you they don't consider themselves as white. You know what I mean? And then there's the Irish. well, you know history. They used to call the Irish the niggers of Europe. So I don't know, man. I get confused. So the English, how people see, how you all describe whiteness is white, Anglo-Saxon, Protestant. That's like them English, not
No,
necessarily the Irish or the Italians. Then.
no, Jews is white too. That's what I'm saying. Jews
So
is
you
white.
include all of them. You throw
Yeah,
all
all
of
of
them.
them is white. Like
Okay,
I don't like
okay.
black people don't be like, yo, you're not gonna see like yo. I guess hardcore can, but unless they got the costume on, you can be like, oh, that dude is Jewish based off the look. You know what I'm saying? It's a white dude. Like, do you
Okay.
know what the Irish was doing? They was a part of the blackface minstrel shows, just like the Shyster Jewish.
Is that
people
right? I
was.
didn't know that. Didn't know
Yo,
that.
they was the who do you think was led most of the massacres on black people? You know what I'm saying? It was the
The
poor
Irish
whites.
police.
No, not just the Irish police, but Irish and Italian immigrants. You know what I'm saying?
I
It
didn't
was,
think. I didn't know it was the Italians too. I didn't know it was the Italians.
yeah, it was all white immigrants who thought that who was mad because they had to compete with black people for jobs or whatever. They say even doing back then. You know what I'm saying? Look up the 1863 riots and the draft riots, and they was the Irish and Italians.
All of them. All of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
They was never they not black people, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can say they mixed if you want, but they white, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Okay. I'll look it up.
yeah, it was the poor whites who was doing the violence, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like, and even if you watch The Sopranos, since a lot of people only want to go by that, God forbid you mess with a moolie, you know what I'm saying? Right, Harco?
No, I never saw that show.
You consider like Dominicans them white men?
No, Dominican, like it's just like with the East Indians. There are black people who is Dominicans, and there are mixed people who are Dominicans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shit, most Dominicans are clear cut, no doubt about it. African
White,
style black.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They hardcore black, but they don't think they black though. They don't think they black.
It's the Uncle Tom culture.
Yeah.
That's why
But
I've
all
been telling
right.
people don't worry when Dominicans come out talking that black and African stuff. Don't believe them.
Yo, it's the same, but we do the same thing, bro. Your whole channel be like, "Don't say I'm black." You know what I'm saying? They be mad at me. Oh, you said you black. How dare you say that? Why don't you say? Then I'd be like, why don't you claim that? That means your problems will be over. No, it won't be. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I always ask them, what should be called then if you don't like the black thing. That's
Well, they tell you. Your boy be like Muskogee. The other chick be like whatever she said. You know what I'm saying?
well, I mean, as a general group, though, nobody has a name. I know some people might say, "Well, Tariq Nasheed does."
What's wrong with African American? What's wrong with that?
That's a false title.
African American?
Right.
Really?
Yo, let me say this, Bwana, because I don't know about what he's saying, but I would say that African American. I said I was against that title before any of this stuff happened because I think that's an African who's been Americanized. Like Sheriff David Clark is an African American. You know?
Okay.
But that's a whole nother thing. That came up to the African versus American thing, so I don't even get into it no more. So
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, we do the same thing with the Indians and the same thing with all the rest of them. But it is what it is. But I'm pretty sure. Well, Bwana was crying when his queen died. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, I was in full tears.
yo, where was you at? Yo, Alcon, where was you at when Diana died?
Let me see. I know I was at my sister's house. I think the Wu-Tang, what's the name of that second album? Was it called Triumph? I think that came out. So I was rocking that, and I was kind of shocked. I think that's. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just thinking. I think that was the first major public figure death that I saw.
What about you, Bwana? Where was you at when you saw it?
When Princess died,
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. I didn't give a shit.
That was gonna be my answer. I don't know what the hell I was.
I don't know that. Like,
it's not that I remember like that. It's just that.
I don't
just
remember that
where
shit.
I was at. That's what I remember.
Yo, Hardcore, what was you at when Khalid Muhammad died? Lord have mercy.
Well, see, that's different because it wasn't a spectacular death and it wasn't really publicized like that.
I can say something that's messed up, and this could be y'all gonna be mad at me for saying this, right? But I guess the both of y'all can remember when September 11 happened. You know, at the time I was in Florida, like sleeping on my homeboy's floor. You know,
Right.
and he woke me up. He's like, man, they like crashed into the buildings, and I was like drunk, and I turned over and I went back to sleep. That's
Nah,
bad. I know that's bad. That's bad.
nah, yeah. I was in 9th grade. We was in school, and they told me, I was like, what? We was like, what the hell is the fucking 10 files? But we got to go home, so it was all good. But I can remember the OJ thing a lot better. I can remember a lot of other stuff. I can remember Michael Jackson died of death a lot better than that. You know.
Yeah, that OJ thing, that's still crazy. I didn't know nothing about the man's life until that thing. I didn't know nothing about him, be honest with you. I just knew he was a football player. And I think before that, they regarded him as top 5 all time. Some people said he was the best. But since then, I guess
OJ he should have been in jail though. You know, I think he killed that woman, but
I think they have him in the top 50 now. So they drop him down because they don't like him now. But they love him. They loved him back then, apparently.
He's the only black man in America who get away with killing a white woman and playing golf.
And a Jew.
No, but did he get away with it though?
Well,
nah, he didn't get away. They got him. They got him afterwards. Afterwards.
That fool did 10 years in prison for stealing his own football cards, yo.
Yeah, that was stupid. That went by kind of fast too. Well, I'm not for him, but for everybody else, maybe. I think with that kind of thing,
man,
I say that he won. As long as he ain't in prison, he won. They destroyed his mansion.
What's that guy named Emmett Till? Emmett Till, he get the death sentence for just looking at whistling at a white woman. OJ get off easy. 10 years? Come on, man.
And on top of that, they said he never even whistled at that white lady. That's what she said.
Yeah.
He get a death sentence.
I mean, why would he at that age?
Yo, what JFK say about that, Joe?
I don't even know.
He was a politician at the time.
I don't know. That would be interesting.
Not a damn thing. He ain't say nothing.
Well, I mean, when you're a politician, some topics you just can't touch, man.
Yeah, we know.
It's just
you don't want to fit in those racist white boys.
No, it's just like if even a white guy, if he was running for president when that Kyrie Irving BS happened, and somebody asked, "Well, what do you think? Do you think Kyrie Irving is correct?" You ain't gonna say yeah. You ain't gonna say no.
But no, you know what he gonna say? He was like, "Yo, that was anti-Semitic. I condemn his actions.
Matter of fact, you are right about that.
Yes, that's exactly what he would say. But he would never do that for a black person, and yet we sit here and defend them. Yo, what up, Oni? We about to get up out of here. It's 8:40. It's 12:40 here, so we gotta go.
Yeah. Oni is probably chilling in Tanzania right now, doing all that kind of nonsense.
Yeah. Don't get in no trouble out there, bro. Yo, he in Africa right now, hardcore. Oni.
Who's that?
The pro-black perspective right here.
Okay, he's from Africa?
No, he's from here, but he's in Tanzania.
He's a New Yorker like you.
Oh, okay. But apparently Africa is not good enough for anybody who wants to stay forever. Except when they're about to die, right? You're gonna miss going to Chick-fil-A at any time, you know?
Mm-mm. That's the problem now.
Chick-fil-A, man, Chick-fil-A is bread. What it is? Flour, club soda, and some seasoning on your chicken, man. I with some fried and some fat. That's Chick-fil-A. There you go. With a pickle on it. That's Chick-fil-A.
But Juana, you got to get a white man to come make it for you so that hardcore will be comfortable.
But you got to admit, though, the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich does taste the most homemade, so to speak.
Well, why not just make it home then?
You know, believe it or not, with me, man, this might shock you, but fried chicken is a hard thing for me to do.
For real?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess for some people.
Yo, hardcore, you don't put no seasoning on it?
I find like with hamburgers and fried chicken, the more basic, the better. Now with that, I put pepper in the flour and maybe some parsley and some salt.
Man, you get YouTube, man. YouTube it up. YouTube it up, Alcorn, man. You learn how to cook that shit.
Nah, you don't want to overdo it. Just like in hamburgers, man. I used to put breadcrumbs, egg, milk in the hamburger, and then after a while, I realized, man, just make it plain and put salt and pepper on it.
Nah, yeah, I feel you on that. You know, make a regular cheeseburger. I'm with you on that for real though.
Spoken like a true bachelor. So get your lady to cook it for you, bro.
Sad to say though, most of the women I met, man, they can't cook even as good as me, let alone better.
That's crazy.
One black lady I knew, they were originally from Ohio. Her and her mother, man, they cook. Well, they are kind of white in the mind. No seasoning. If you think salt and pepper is bad, they don't even do that. It was bad. I went over there for Thanksgiving one time, and they were giving me the food. I was like, okay. It was presented nice.
Yeah.
But then nothing on mashed potatoes, nothing on the steak.
Horrible. Horrible. Black women who don't know how to cook. That's an oxymoron.
Yeah, I said, damn. Then this other black lady, she said, yeah, you can come over for Thanksgiving. I said, okay. She put too much shit on hers.
It was season height. Yeah.
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 She's like, oh, you don't like my cooking, huh? I said, I ain't saying nothing. You know
You
how
eat
it is.
that, you eat that shit and smile, Lou.
I try, man. I'm one of those people, man. Your shit is disgusting. I'm gonna take a bite, put the plate down, and start talking, and try to act like I ain't eating this shit.
We're like, oh, I ain't hungry right now. I eat it later.
That's right. I don't even say it because I don't even want them thinking about it. But they see what I'm doing though.
All right, y'all. All right. So, man, we got to get out of here. Alcorn, so you love your man's JFK.
Put that list together.
Yo, but Wanda, which white man you love? Well, you love the biracial, so you.
No, I like Hitler. I like Hitler. I don't think he did a good enough job. I think he was lazy.
Okay.
He should have them onion ovens running 24/7. But that's a whole lot about it. But it's good been talking to y'all guys, man. I'll talk to y'all later another time, man. It's been good talking to y'all. Yeah.
All right, peace, my brother.
Peace out.
All right, peace, hardcore. Yeah, man. So listen, man, I appreciate y'all for listening, man. You know, the show went kind of left. I really didn't want it to be this long, but all the shows starting to get longer, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna try to start cutting them down for real. So shouts out to all of y'all. Shouts out to you, Oni, you know what I'm saying? Be safe out there. My brother Bobby, shouts out to you. Bawana, thank you for coming on. Hardcore, appreciate you coming on. Shouts out to Bakari. Shouts out to Casidra and Shanique for coming on. My brother Everett. I saw Koku. My brother Guy. Maurice Muhammad came on here. You know what I'm saying? Definitely an interesting conversation. We'll have a conversation about, you know, Marxism and all that stuff. I try to, but other people don't come through when it's time to have that conversation. You know what I'm saying? But we can have that conversation if y'all want to. But, you know, as y'all see, Black people will vehemently defend, you know what I'm saying, their oppressor to the death. And it's the John Brown complex, you know what I'm saying? But you'll hear Harriet Tubman didn't exist, but you know what I'm saying? You'll never hear John Brown didn't exist. But I'm telling you right now, John Brown wasn't real. You know what I'm saying? So there was none of them that ever loved you or ever cared about you. You know what I'm saying? They don't love you. And I'm sorry to do that. And shouts out to my sister Raw. Shouts out to Erica and everybody else who came through. Much love to all of y'all. And as always, man, we have got to start standing for something or we're going to keep falling for anything.